Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS, 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Friday. Sad day. Sad day. We're going to do a regular show. And if you haven't heard the accident that happened yesterday that shut down Highway 40, when a truck blew a tire and just crazy happenstance, jumped the median and hit another car, and they shut down 40. And we were, talking about it all day yesterday and texted with a few people last night like, oh, my gosh, have you seen this? And it turns out it was Ray Hartmann, who was a friend of the show and back even before Andrew was on the show, like in the early 2000s. Ray would be on the DGS weekly for years. And, anytime someone passes away, you talk about them and you honor them, and they were so special. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think we lie about that with most people. Like, they're special to their family, and everyone loves Grandpa Joe. I get that. I don't think everyone's special in the funeral kind of special way. Ray was special. He was. He was just Ray. He was an intellect. He was brave. He was reasonable. He was a good friend. Yeah, Ray was special. He was.
Big impact.
Big impact.
Think about all the, from the media to, the political world, super big impact.
Yeah, and someone who was just really unafraid to tell you what he truly thought.
100%.
And would advocate for other people. I mean, I know a huge reason why he wanted to run for office and a reason why he stepped away from Donnybrook, because you can't do both, was he wanted to advocate for women's rights here in the state of Missouri. And, just what a long and incredible career he had in media with the Riverfront Times and then being on PBS every week.
Yeah.
Just a really great person.
One of the things I'm very proud of about the DGS is there are so many people out there now doing media in St. Louis, all over the country, who got their start here. And Ray was that times 100. Like, I don't know if there's anyone in media who's been here for a while that didn't have a relationship with Ray and in many ways owe part of their success to Ray. I mean, he incubated so many talents. I heard Sarah Finsky on with Amy this morning, and we're going to have Charlie Brennan come here in a couple of minutes. He's just kind of run a little bit late. But, yeah, I think that's the measure, right? The measure of a person, that how big of a hole they leave. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So come on in, man. Come on in. You're good. You're good. Just talking about Ray and his impact and our friendship with him. Ray and I go back 25 years. You guys go back farther than that. The great Charlie Brennan is here. Thank you for coming down.
Well, thanks for including me. Yeah, Ray was really a special guy, and he sat in this seat many a time.
Sure did.
He and Martin had a show on KMOX years ago. It was a point-counterpoint, and we got a new general manager who was new to town. He came here from I don't know where, but he fired them in a cost-cutting move. These things happen in broadcasting.
Brilliant. But,
no, I think I'm still numb. I can't quite believe what happened, but yeah. I think he shifted things in this city to the left, didn't he? At least the debate, because you remember we had the Globe Democrat on the conservative, lunch pail conservative newspaper, and on the left, but very establishment, was the Post-Dispatch. And Ray comes in with this hippie weekly, the Riverfront Times, and starts tilting at windmills and taking on corporate St. Louis and the establishment and the powers that be. Didn't always make a lot of friends, but I think he shifted the debate.
Yeah, for sure.
And the RFT had some great reporters and super stories every week in and week out. And his editorial was always, very lengthy and thoughtful. He did his homework. And then he started this program on Channel 9, Donnybrook, in January of 1987. And, it's still on the air.
Done okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I don't know what the heyday of the RFT was, but I feel like it was when I was about 25, when I was newly an attorney. And I didn't know a single person who didn't read it.
Right.
Where are you going to go on Saturday?
Every restaurant, it was at the front door.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, Ray did make a lot of money at one point, but he didn't start off with a lot of money. In fact, there was a local journalist, food critic by the name of Joe Bonwich, and he was on the first floor of that enterprise with Ray, and they actually got into a pickup truck, and they would get in the back of it and throw the newspapers onto the corner or in front of the restaurants. That's how Ray started off, doing the real grunt stuff that entrepreneurs often do.
I hope what I'm about to say isn't inappropriate. I don't want to cause
it probably
anyone
will
any pain.
be,
but it's true. I have a friend who's going through a hard time, and last night I texted this friend, and obviously not knowing, and I said, "Hey, look, some poor guy today got hit by a tire," and my point was, you never know. Life is short. Let's pull this together. Let's get back on our feet. And then this morning, Rach texted me, and it's Ray. So it was just like a double, like, oh my God, I was just using this guy as an analogy, and it's a friend.
It's all true. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I was in that traffic jam yesterday. I was going from Mason to Clayton at that time, 2:30, and I knew because the highway was shut down. It was a parking lot.
Yeah.
You guys had that on the air. I knew a fatality because they shut the highway down when there's a fatality. And then when I drove around it 40 minutes later, my daughter, who was in the car, she looked and she saw the vehicle and she knew it was a really bad situation because, it's one of those terrible things. But I didn't know that it was a good friend who had perished. And it's just, that's a life lesson for all of us. We have to appreciate those around us, remember those who inspired us, like Ray.
Yeah.
And make the most of it.
Tell me about your relationship. I'm so interested. I just always link the two of you together, as everyone does. Like, tell me about meeting him and developing this friendship and this partnership.
Well, I was on KMOX Radio. I was doing evening shows, and he and Martin were occasional guests booked by Peggy Cohill. Peggy Cohill-Drankin, our producer. And so that's how I met him. And they would come in, they would go back and forth. And then sometimes we go to McGurk's or something afterwards at 10, 11 o'clock at night. That's how I met him. And then I became an on-again, off-again panelist starting in 1992. And then when I became a regular in 2000, I saw Ray once a week for decades, and we would talk because you have to get ready for the show, as you know. So we're on the phone at least once or twice a week, plus in person. So I really felt like he was a brother. And we actually mentioned that with all the pros and cons that go with that. I was like, Ray, would you please shut up? We got to move on. But, I used to joke, while he was talking, I could go to the ATM and get cash and come back and he's still talking.
So Charlie is one of the first Donnybrook panelists. Rach is the most recent.
Yes. And we're happy about that.
How does this hit you?
I mean, it's terribly sad. Ray was always so kind to me every time I would talk to him. And I met him at Donnie Bash for the first time. And I went up and introduced myself, and I work at KMOX. And he just immediately just locked in and was like, this is great. Like, I would love to come on your show. I would like to do this. I would like just so supportive and kind. And I always really enjoyed watching him. And Charlie, I'm sure you can speak to the fact that I'm sure it was difficult for him to give up Donnybrook and walk away from it, but he was so convicted in what he wanted to do and try to do for our region that it was worth that sacrifice.
Absolutely. Here he had a solid gig. He had tenure. He was never going to get fired from Channel 9, right? And it was a fair amount of money once a week. Well, he felt bad that there was no solid Democratic opponent to Ann Wagner, and he felt there should have been. So he left the program to run for Congress as a Democrat in a heavy Republican district. Who does that? Well, a crazy man. But, he felt that the issues had to be raised, and he did not do well, but he fought the good fight.
He did, and he was so unafraid. Charlie just brought up Ian Wagner. That was the whole reason Ray was running. He was not afraid to say exactly how he felt on that topic and any other topic, and it's a huge reason why he has so many people's respect.
Yeah. One of my favorite Ray moments, it's probably been 10 years because I think Phoebe was pretty small, and my family was flying probably to Florida, and, we got Nick's 20 and Phoebe's 10 and all this. And then here comes Ray. I had no idea he was going to be at the airport that morning. And he had his kids in tow. And it looked like something from Gilligan's Island where someone's traveling. They have the big giant luggage things, And and he walks up and he looks at me. And normally you'd go, hey, Ray, hey, Dave, what's going on? Where you guys going? But he walks up, he looks over, he sees me, and he gets this look on his face. And he just mouths the words, what the F? Because we're both just slapping these kids around. And it's one of my favorites.
That's funny.
That's so funny. He lived in Florida for a while. He was doing Donnybrook while living in Miami and flying back and forth. And then he was running the Riverfront Times. There are a lot of aspects of him people to know. He was a very good marathon runner.
Didn't know that?
Didn't know that.
Yeah. He ran a lot of marathons. I think his favorite was Grandma's in Minnesota. And then he also had some newspaper that he did not do well that I think they only distributed around the Gateway Arch or something. But he was also very generous with his time. And his kids have done really well. He was a very smart guy, and his kids are smart.
I heard you say that he was really happy that his son had just got a real good job.
Yeah, his son got a really good job, and his daughter's doing well. She's I think, leaving Case Western early because she graduated early. So she's, and that's the saddest thing about this because he loved those kids, and I know they loved him.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. But he leaves a legacy that we can all learn from. Stand up for what is right and fight the good fight, and don't be afraid to take on the powerful if they're wrong. It's not easy.
He really was St. Louis's Don Quixote, wasn't he?
Chilton at Windmills. Yes, he was. Yeah. Well, for example, on Market Street, there's the Gateway Tower. Not the old building that KMWX was in, but in the middle of the mall. There's Peabody Energy was there. Well, the original design for that mall was to have a beautiful, clear expanse between the Gateway Arch and the Civil Courts building. And then I guess developers decided that they wanted to build that in the 1980s. So they put a skyscraper in the middle of it, which just ruined the whole thought of having a long expanse between these two iconic buildings. Yeah. And he fought the good fight against that, lost. He did not want that skyscraper there. And I think history will prove that he was right. Yeah. That skyscraper could have gone anywhere else.
Yeah.
But that was just like one of a zillion. You read his paper.
Yeah.
It was one cause after another.
Yeah.
Sometimes he won, sometimes he lost.
Yeah, he lost more than he won.
Probably.
But he fought.
In this town, this state.
He fought every time. Charlie, thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
All right. Keep up the good work.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. Easy Cater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met Easy Cater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with Easy Cater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Growing a brand is hard, but reaching the right customers shouldn't be. Meet Outcomes from Viant. We've built an intelligent platform that handles the complexity of digital advertising for you. Powered by advanced AI, we help your brand show up in the right places at the right time and ensure that every dollar you spend leads to a real business result. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
So, Dr. Matt Bays, my buddy, is in a niche area. At least I think he is. And I think he would agree. He's not a general practitioner like my doc, I go to if I have a sinus infection or something. He's not an orthopedic surgeon like, Corey, who I represent, but he occupies a very important place in the middle. That if you are injured freshly and you want to see a sports doctor who's going to know what's going on and going to be able to either treat you or get you to the right person for surgery, that's Matt. If you have chronic pain from an old injury or from something that you just don't know, could be arthritis, could be this, could be that, he's the guy to see. He is an expert in regenerative medicine, the stem cell injections. He knows everything there is to know about those. So if you are having pain, emergent or chronic, go see Dr. Matt Bay. He's also the most dedicated doctor to customer service I've ever known. You're not going to sit and languish in his waiting room. 636-735-3003, BaysSportsMed.com.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So everyone out there listening, you're listening for a reason, and you get it. And the reason is this show for 25 years has been more than a show, more than entertainment. It's family. Tom Turbrock and Tony Colombo and everyone who's ever been on the show. Ray, it's just a big, giant extended family. And it's a sad day in the family, and we're going to honor Ray. Alvin is going to be on at 3. That's going to be amazing and tough. But we're going to go ahead and do a show for you, okay? And just know that that's how families work, right? Every funeral I've ever been to, the funniest I've ever been in my life, the funniest I've ever been on my life was not on stage. It was at my grandma's funeral. I was just on. And that's how life works and family works. Mm-hmm. And you honor someone, and Ray deserves it. And Ray would want us to do a show.
Of course.
100%.
Of course. I mean,
he'd be mad we're still talking. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He had enough of the little narcissism like I do.
He'd
like it. He'd like it.
You can't do this kind of stuff without at least a little bit.
Yeah. I considered this bad news. Don't Google this because I want to surprise you.
Okay.
Okay.
The good news is that, well, kind of the good news. They are remaking The Thing. John Carpenter, Kurt Russell is McCready, just a classic, and it's always on the Sweet 16. And they're remaking it
Again?
It's going to come out in 2027. Guess who's playing the Kurt Russell McCready part?
Oh, no.
Is it his son?
No.
That would
No, it
actually
should've been
be a
his
little
son.
more fun.
Son looks exactly like him.
That's a great idea.
The way you're going, this sounds like this is going to be
He's a
terrible.
great actor.
I hope it's not Mr. Beast.
Worse.
Worse.
Travis Kelce?
Jada Pinkett Smith.
What?
Is going to be McCready.
All right. I mean, so I guess they're like remixing the whole plot. It'll be a different. It's a remix. It's not a direct.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be a faithful remake.
But it's a lady instead of a boy.
I don't.
right.
That part's not thing that bothers me too much.
Really?
But is she?
Yeah, him being a guy is not like central to the plot.
Yeah, I mean, it can be either, but
No,
like,
it's Jada. It's not
That's-
the fact that
that's
it's
my point,
That's
right.
the fact that it's a female.
No, right.
I
That's
mean,
what I was
she's a
getting
real-
ready to say.
She's a real actress.
But when's the last time she was in anything of significance?
She was one of the main, I think, villains in the Gotham TV show, the Batman one, a couple years ago. I didn't watch the show, but I understand people liked her as the villain.
No, and I'm not even. It's not even assailing her as her career, but she's not exactly leading movies for the last 10 years.
Seems like a strange choice.
Like I feel like there are bigger names that you.
Yeah,
could
but
have
if it
gone
was,
for.
but if it was Timothy Chalamet, we'd be just as upset.
Yeah, if it was
Well, if
Glenn
it was him.
Powell, I'd
Yeah,
be-
if it was Glenn
yes.
Powell.
Yes, I would agree with that.
If it was Sydney Sweeney, we'd be even more pissed.
Yes, I agree. But that's the point: is that
These
there are
all
better
good points.
But there
Maybe the problem is that all the people leading movies right now suck.
These are good
There are
points.
plenty of good ones, though.
Well,
They could have gone man or woman. There are dozens of choices that would make more sense.
You know what? I'm gonna stand up for Jada here. I don't think she's getting this part unless she's like killing the audition. Because like you guys said, she's not like leading movies, so she must have come in and read for the part and done a good job, right?
And she's, I mean, there's like baggage with the Smiths right now. I feel like.
You think?
I don't know. I could
There's
be
a
wrong.
lot of drama going on with those two, as usual.
I don't know how much that like affects any of this stuff, like practically in the Holly weird land. See what I did there?
I did.
I don't understand. Why are we doing a third remake of this movie? Because they did one in 2011 too.
It's directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Janelle is saying that the web is saying it's satirical, similar to rumors of her playing a bald Rapunzel. Huh. I hope so.
You mean like it's fake news?
She said the news came out on April Fool's Day. I actually went to the trouble of Googling it, and there were several sources that were saying the same thing, but maybe they were all fooled too.
Well, Jada, just know I had your back.
Just know that I did not.
I was ready to go to bat for you. I'm like, you know what? She must have done a
I
great
would
job.
not gone to have seen one of my favorite movies remade.
And I think the remake in 2011 was like kind of a remake, but not really.
It was a
It was
prequel.
like a prequel remake.
Who was in that? Do you
In
know?
that
Mary Winstead.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's great.
She was good in that.
Oh yeah, but it was like it had the exact same plot, but then at the end it was like, but it was really a prequel, and you're like, well, this is the exact same plot as the original.
All Access with Ollie Marmol on the Gas House Gang.
You're constantly trying to figure out how to get meaningful information through to the player in a way where they can put it into action. If they can shoot holes in your game or in your information or your delivery, you're done. If you come into those and you're 80% prepared and they can shoot holes in your messaging or in your points that you're trying to make, you lose credibility real quick, and you're not gaining that back anytime soon.
Ollie Marmol, Tuesdays at noon on KMOX.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms will continue as we go through our Friday afternoon. Severe weather tough to find, but we will run into some heavy downpours from time to time. 78 for the high. Then tonight, fading showers early in the evening. Otherwise, we've got a partly cloudy night on the way, 54. Saturday, sunny. Beautiful day on Saturday, 76 degrees, 56 on Saturday night. All is dry. Sunday, partly sunny, windy, and 75. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door.
RENNER. Don't miss a baseball showdown at Busch Stadium when Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers roll into the Lou, May 1st through the 3rd. Kick off the weekend with Friday Night Live and a must-have short-sleeve hoodie giveaway. Saturday brings a Mason Wynn bobblehead, celebrating his Gold Glove Award. Then Sunday features a sleek blade collar shirt giveaway. Big names, big matchups, and big giveaways all weekend long. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Mason Wynn. Get your tickets at cardinals.com.
The 1-2, and that's grounded up the middle. Diving play, Mason Wynn to his feet. He throws, he got him.
What's up, Cardinals fans? Mason Wynn here. On Saturday, May 2nd, when we face the Dodgers, you can take home the Mason Wynn Gold Glove bobblehead, presented by the Shane Company. It's got my chain, my first gold glove, my whole look, just how I rock it. Plus, a few rare all-gold baubles will be randomly mixed in for 500 lucky fans. This is one you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/promotion.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX. Let's get some political stuff out of the way. We can do whatever we want. We can avoid politics. We can talk about it for 4 hours. I like to do maybe a segment or two out of the 16 segments we do, especially on a Friday. But I'm just going to run through these stories I saw. Stop me if you guys get interested. There's been a leaked email from the Pentagon discussing the president's wishes to suspend Spain from NATO. I don't know if we have that power or not. I didn't think we were the boss of NATO. Maybe we are. Saw a report that Elon Musk has posted like 850 times in X amount of time about how whites are being treated terribly and we're not going to have white people anymore and all this kind of stuff. Evidently, Truth Social is going to become the first social media site that has prediction markets based on crypto. So that's good. Evidently, we have spies in the Vatican through the CIA. I guess that's not just a Trump thing. I guess we've always supposedly had that, but now it's ramped up.
Like they work for the Catholic Church?
Don't know exactly. Just know that they have assets.
I mean, they couldn't have just put him in play in the last few weeks. This would
no.
I'm assuming you can't just be like, okay, go to the Vatican, you're in. Like you gotta. It's gonna take some
I'm the
time
new
to build
cardinal.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We've never heard of you before.
I'm Cardinal. What's his face?
I was on the fast track. I did really well in cardinal school.
But I was thinking about something that we talked about earlier this week. I think it was Amy who said one of the things that bothers me about the president is I'm not used to thinking about any president every day.
Yeah.
And I don't want to think about you every day. And that really resonated with me. That is so much of this. And I thought about it like as an analogy to family. And I'm not the president of my family, but I'm the dad. And dads have a special place with their kids. And I have a special place with Phoebe, very daddy's girl and all that kind of stuff. But I am very intentionally not in her life every day.
Mm-hmm.
And very intentionally working through my own crap and not putting it on her. Because she has her own life now, and she deserves her own life, and it's my job to care for her. And to some extent, it's the president's job to care for the country. And I think that if you guys found out that I was blowing her up every day with drama, you would probably be good enough friends of me to say, I'm not sure that's great for Phoebe.
Yeah.
And so that just hit me like that's how I think it is with the president. I think he's doing something wrong in that he's not protecting us from the daily drama. We don't need it. It's not good for us. It's not good for the country. We're all obsessed with it.
I would go a step further and say not only does he not protect us from the drama, he is one of the main antagonizers when it comes to the drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was trying to be kind.
Yeah,
but
and the problem...
I think I'm just being factual.
No,
when I say
you're
that.
absolutely being factual.
I think so. And I think part of the problem, though, is we have demonstrated that we crave it because we consume it.
Yes.
On social media, on TV, like we crave it. But the parent analogy works great here, Dave, because your kids crave candy and chocolate cake, and you wouldn't let them have it for dinner. You wouldn't just feed it to them all day, every day. That would make you a parent making big mistakes. Unfortunately, we're all fed the candy and the chocolate cake every day, whether we want it or not.
So true.
But a lot of people clearly do, because it makes money.
You develop a taste for it.
Yeah.
Like when I'm at home watching, I don't have to, well, that's not true. I do have to watch the news because of what I do for a living. But even so, when there's something about Trump, something crazy, I could turn it off. I could pause it. I could read about it tomorrow, but I turn the volume up. So that's the way when people accuse me of having Trump derangement syndrome, I don't have it in that I miscalculate who he is and his actions. I think I know exactly who he is, and I think I understand his actions very well. The way I have Trump derangement syndrome is I think about it too much.
Yeah.
I give him too much time in my brain.
Based on the way it's used, though, anyone could have some kind of derangement symptom about politics.
Yeah.
Right? Because we only see it when we're looking across the aisle.
Yeah.
We only see derangement when it's somebody yelling at our person or our candidate I really wish we just didn't have that dynamic. I don't have a candidate. I don't care enough about any individual. I do care about like us, and I want policies that benefit the majority of us. That's what I care about. There's no candidate where I'm like, that's my person.
Last thing about Trump, have you guys read much about the Correspondents' Dinner coming up?
I read that it's no longer going to be hosted by a comedian.
Yeah, it's being hosted by a mentalist.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And Trump has been very open about, you can read this yourself, just Google it, that he is, I forget the word, it's not ambush, but it's something like that. But he's going to use his time to completely humiliate the press, and then he's going to leave. He's not going to stay for anything else. He's not going to listen to any of the jokes about him.
Nothing says I'm brave like hitting and running. That's what my little brother used to do when we were kids. He'd like smack me in the face and run away.
I want to get super defensive about just like a random congressman, and then if anyone says anything bad about them, I'm going to be like, you have Patrick McHenry derangement syndrome.
Right.
I think it'd be fun to mix it up, you know?
Right.
Steve Scalise doesn't deserve this.
Yeah, just get real random with it.
Steve Scalise is listening like, oh.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Rach, tell me about the inmates taking kindness classes.
Yeah, this is happening in Utah. Let me get this story pulled up. I just thought this was pretty interesting stuff. They're actually live streaming these kindness classes that are being offered to inmates at a prison. I'm hoping they're signing some sort of release that says that it's okay for this to be streamed and viewed. But it's a program designed to help individuals rethink their paths through intentional acts of compassion. And, less so about it being about a prison. I like the concept of adult people kind of refreshing themselves on, hey, this is how you're kind. This is how you treat people nicely. This is how you make better choices. Because that is something that we learn a lot about whenever we're in preschool and kindergarten. And I guess through elementary school, right? But then it kind of falls off when you become an adult. It's just assumed that you know how to act that way. And I like to think for the most part, a lot of people do. But if you are in this situation where you're serving a sentence in a prison, you might appreciate the refresher, or just maybe you were never taught these kind of things. And I think it's a really good sign if someone wants to attend a class
I agree.
like that.
Do you think that, because for my generation anyway, and I'm sure it's probably still like this, but for my generation, kindergarten and first grade was equal to everything after that, including law school. Like, you really learn this is the way you are expected to behave. And playground rules and sharing and all these things. Tough question, but do you feel like, how much of that do you feel like most of us take with us and actually live? Have we forgotten kindergarten?
I mean, I don't know that everyone has, but I haven't lived in a past generation, so I can't speak to whether it's different now than it used to be. But people absolutely grow away from those lessons. I mean, the ideas are not that complicated, right? The ideas that we're learning it's how you get along with groups of people and how you work within a group of people, because the vast majority of people are going to have jobs that are like that. You're going to play sports, and it's like that. Working together is part of living in communities and living around other people. And if you don't want to do that, it's fine if you just wanted to go live off by yourself. But, you shouldn't just be selfish enough to say, I don't care about all these other people living around me. They can adjust to me. I'm not adjusting to them. That's backwards. Because if everybody is like that, well, then we have nothing but chaos. Imagine if nobody wanted
like
to do
that than we've been.
I don't know.
Like you, I wasn't 61 in 1942.
Right. I don't know if we're more like that, but as Kevin alluded to earlier, the algorithm and on social media and then regular
good
media,
point.
we reward the people who break the social contract.
Very good point.
Like the worse you are, the more attention you get and the more you can profit off of that. So that's going to be what's in our face all the time. And so then it feels like, oh, everyone is selfish. Everyone is bad. Everyone doesn't care about others' feelings. When I do think the average person is a good person or a decent person anyway. But it's very easy to lose sight of that because of what we consume all day, every day.
And I don't think everyone who acts more in their own self-interests than in the group interest, I don't think they're necessarily bad. I just think it causes disruption and causes problems. And I'm not saying follow along and, always follow the leader. That's not the point. The point is that we do better one of the reasons we as a species run the planet is that we have worked together as populations. Now, we fight each other in great populations, but over time, we work together. You don't see in wildlife necessarily one pack of this group and another pack of this group working together and building things and living in groups of tens of thousands, or in our case, we live in groups of millions and millions in cities and, regions and things like that. And that happened because there was at least some work toward the common good. We all learned how to farm. Some people farmed. Some people hunted. Some people provided security. Some people cooked food. We learned to work together, and it's part of the reason why we are the dominant species on the planet in terms of influence on the planet. Maybe not in terms of numbers because there are way more bugs, but
yeah, I think.
And bugs work like that.
I think Rage kind of summed up what I was trying to get at, which is it's my perception that what we're taught in kindergarten, this is how you behave and this is how you get ahead, is directly contradicted by the world today. The whole nice guys finish last, and I've always been way more of a nice guy than an aggressive guy, so it always bothers me when people say that, but it feels true today that the more aggressive you are and the more of a gotcha person you are, the better you do. The more money you make, the more social clout you have. And that could just be my perception, but
do you think it's because people look at that and in that they feel like they see some freedom
to do
whatever you want?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have to do what I don't want to do or whatever.
Well, remember the famous Simpsons episode where the self-help guy comes and he interviews Bart, and Bart's like, I do what I want to do. And he's like, that's great. We should all embrace our inner Bart. And then everything goes to hell. That's kind of how it feels like today is like, oh, okay, well, if the president's doing that and this congressman's doing this and these guys are doing this, why am I following all these rules?
Do you think,
I feel like a schmuck.
Do you guys think that, because I think Rach nailed it when she talked about algorithms and how that creates siloing and that it can also influence you to choose a path that you might not have even been aware of 25, 30 years ago. Do you think that the people that are powerful have kind of always been that way, like royalty, like the old robber barons, that they've always kind of been that way, but the average person wasn't really seeing it all the time? So you were more bought into, hey, we all work together, man, we're better together, versus now we see it. Yeah. And it's out there and it's public and it's on social media and it's all over the internet. And you can look up all these different things that are going on.
Yeah, probably so. April is a really good time to reset things, and the same thing is true for your home. If you are in need of replacement windows, which, let's be honest, probably a lot of us are, but we don't know. And to a great extent, we don't care, because so long as there's something with glass in it between us and the outside, we're fine. But if you complain about your air conditioning bills and your heating bills, just know that you might be able to reduce those substantially. Not might, you will, with new Universal Windows. They always have a deal for you. Right now, it's buy two, get two free. 24 months with no payments and no interest, $500 off your job at the end of it when all the dust settles. 314-334-2522, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region. Featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids' crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of KMOX, and right now, new customers to FanDuel can bet $5 and get $400 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. That's right, $5, get $400 in bonus bets if the first bet wins. From player props on all your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up. It's all right there on the FanDuel app, which is super easy to use. It is intuitive, and it is a lot of fun. Don't miss your shot. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel, official partner of the NBA. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS, thank you for your well wishes. Thank you, Mitch, about losing our dear friend Ray Hartmann. If you haven't heard that, it was Ray in the car yesterday on Highway 40 that got hit by a truck tire in a freak accident, and we knew about it because we covered it here, and the traffic and everything within this morning. Found out that it was Ray, and had Charlie Brennan on earlier in the hour. Very thankful to Charlie for coming down. Alvin Reed, his longtime partner, will be on at 3 because he's always on at 3. And looking forward to that. You know, you get it. Not into like, oh, it's going to be fun, but
Right.
you know, just looking forward to talking to Alvin. What do I got here in my paid for show prep? So here's how the radio show works. We get this thing called the complete sheet, and we all get it. And what I don't respect, and there are a lot of people out there like us, their show is reading the complete sheet. Just from the front to the back with the jokes and the this and the that. That's not doing a show. That's reading someone else's work. So I'd say like 5% of what we do is complete sheet. It's convenient, funny little
We'll add on
stories. Yeah.
Well, it's also they do a bunch of like celebrity stories, and it's all celebrities we don't care about.
That's
It's
true.
always like Blake Shelton is in the news again, or
Oh,
not
boy.
Blake Shelton.
The world.
I know the one you're talking about, and he's in there every day.
Yeah, the
voice
the
guy.
voice guy. I was afraid I said Ben Shelton. He's a tennis player. I'm like, I'm getting them mixed up again because they have the same last name.
I think it is Blake Shelton.
It is Blake Shelton.
Yeah. And he's in there every day.
I'm really sorry. Please go ahead, Dave.
I didn't know how long that was going to go.
Dave's like, well then.
Yeah, I just go to the bathroom while you guys are trying to figure out which Blake is.
Ben Blake.
There are many different first names
Like,
a man
Ben's
can
a
have.
tennis player. He has a left-handed forehand.
I would love to make fun, but I do that with sports names all the time. Like for a long time, I would call Tyler O'Neill Paul O'Neill because there was a Paul O'Neill in the 90s.
Well, I call Ben Shelton Blake Shelton on accident all the time because Blake Shelton is the famous.
Still doing this, huh?
Yeah, I think it's gold. Okay,
it's gold,
Yeah.
Jerry.
You know what?
I think that people really like this.
I stand by it.
I'll just say one of us is doing this wrong. And so maybe it's me.
I just had to get in there with my little comment.
I'm wide open to me being wrong.
So anyway, what's in the complete sheet today?
I thought this was kind of interesting. It was interesting to me. It is the top 10 most streamed artists of all time on Spotify, and not one of my bands are on there. It's all your bands. That
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Yeah, because it's
The
streaming.
target audience is the ones that,
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
No, because
No, it's not weird that, like, Queen, for example. Queen hasn't been a band in the real way in, like, 40 years. It's not surprising that, like, some of the new people aren't really
Is it all like Bad Bunny?
grabbing onto them.
Yeah, Bad Bunny
Taylor
was number
Swift.
2. Taylor Swift was number 1.
Yeah.
Who else
Kanye
is on
was
there?
number 9.
Okay.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I threw it in the trash. Now I can't read it. So.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton, the
Blake
country
Shelton.
guy. He does a great
Ben
job.
Shelton.
Number
Ben Shelton.
7, Paul Ryan.
Paul Shelton.
Ryan Paul.
What are we doing? It's National Hairball Awareness Day. That's the kind of gold you get from this.
Oh, my Lord.
Why do we need awareness?
Why'd you call it Lort?
Yeah,
I
why
didn't mean to. You want a real insight?
Kevin got cut off.
I got cut off by my own burp that I suppressed.
Oh, okay. I like the honesty.
Kevin had a hairball.
Yeah, felt it coming. I'm like, better shut up.
He was like, oh gosh, they know.
Kevin's grooming himself. He's like,
It'd be great in the middle of one of Kevin's rants. Just a giant hairball. I tell you guys about my friend Mike at Michael's Baths. This one's so easy. It's so easy for me. It should be so easy for you. If you're the least bit interested in a bathroom remodel, you're gonna talk to Bathfitter. You're going to talk to 3 Day Kitchen and Bath, and that's great. They're nice people, I'm sure. They're not evil in any way. They're just different than us. It's a difference between like a big national chain that's going to fix your car and a local place that's going to fix your car. And Mike's been doing construction for 30 years, been doing just the bathroom stuff for about 10 of those. He likes to stay small and agile and not get too big and lose track of who's working for him and what kind of quality there is. It's all right there in one building. Mike's 30 to 50% less expensive than the national companies. I think he's better. He definitely has better products, all made in the USA. When he comes to your home, he'll bring his products, their products. He'll really, really just let you make that decision. So far, a lot of people from the DGS have used Mike, and everyone's really super happy with him. For a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or an upgrade with safety features like grab bars or a built-in seat. 636-775-0800, or you can schedule your consultation at michaelsbaths.com.
I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Every spring, families consider moving, and this year I encourage you not to wait. The McKelvey Homes Spring Event is one of the best offers we've had in years, with rates as low as 4.75% financing and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. The event ends May 31st. Secure your savings and schedule your personal tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
Turning 50 doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about your health. That's why we created NeoVitan Men's 50 Plus Multivitamin. It's doctor formulated to support your energy, immune health, and overall vitality. Plus, it's made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients. Take control of your health with supplements you can trust. Look for Neovitin Men's 50 Plus at your local Schnucks, Deerbergs, or online at neovitin.com. Neovitin, made for men who keep moving forward.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.
Do you ever feel like people are mumbling more than they used to? Or maybe conversations at restaurants and family gatherings have gotten harder to follow? If this sounds familiar, it might be time to learn more about your hearing. That's why we're inviting you to a special lunch and learn at the Audiology Center. This event is on April 29th for various time slots. It's a relaxed and friendly gathering where our certified audiologists will talk about hearing and hearing loss, answer your questions, and share how today's hearing aids can help you connect with the moments that matter most. Hearing loss often happens slowly, and many people don't realize how much they're missing. It's important to know how untreated hearing loss can negatively affect you in the long term. It's a no-pressure event, just good conversation and good information, and lunch is on us. Seats are limited, so please call 636-441-7470 to reserve your spot for our free lunch and learn at the Audiology Center on April 29th. Take the first step towards hearing more clearly.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's a cloudy sky. Right now, 69 degrees downtown at the Arch. St. Louis Magazine's executive editor, Sarah Fenske, talked with KMOX about the late journalist, Ray Hartmann. The 73-year-old was killed yesterday when a semi-truck wheel struck his vehicle on 6440. Fenske described Hartmann's influence on the Riverfront Times, the alt weekly he started at the age of 24.
Ray had this ethos where, yes, he definitely took politics seriously, but he wasn't like, he didn't want to cancel people. He didn't not have a sense of humor. That was part of the spirit that he imbued that paper with.
She described him as a sharp-witted writer even later in his career.
I think one of the honors of my life was that he came back as a columnist at the RFT years after he'd sold it. And just what a treat to have his voice back in print.
KMOX's Charlie Brennan describes Hartmann as one of the voices of St. Louis.
He skewered the high and the mighty and civic progress, the Greek chorus to St. Louis society.
Brennan describes Hartmann's ability to befriend people on both sides of the aisle as a rare quality that will be missed.
Someone once said to me, and this is not going to be true of Ray, but a person was a great journalist when no one shows up at his funeral. But I think that Ray is going to have a lot of people at his funeral.
Ray Hartmann, founder of the Riverfront Times, has died at the age of 74. President Trump is sending negotiators to Pakistan for weekend talks aimed at ending the war against Iran.
The president is sending envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to the talks in Islamabad. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Vice President Vance is not going, at least not for now.
The vice president, I understand, is on standby and will be willing to dispatch to Pakistan if we feel it's a necessary use of his time.
Vice President Vance led the first round of talks in Pakistan amid reports the Iranian team preferred to negotiate with him. This new round of talks comes as the U.S. continues its blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
A developing story. Governor Brian Kemp says wildfires have destroyed more than 120 homes in South Georgia. Nearly 1,000 more homes are threatened. Hemp products that create a similar high as marijuana will soon disappear from the shelves of Missouri convenience stores. Governor Mike Kehoe signed legislation to restrict the sales of the products to state-licensed cannabis dispensaries. They'll also have to meet the same testing, labeling, and packaging rules for actual marijuana in Missouri.
We've talked about this for a long time. It's been an issue that's unfortunately been around our children for a long time. Missouri needs to be a place where it's safe to be able to have your children get access to a product that doesn't include harmful intoxicants.
The Missouri Hemp Trade Association strongly opposed the bill, saying it would wipe out small businesses within the hemp industry. The new law takes effect November 12th, the same day a federal ban on intoxicating hemp products begins. The Dow from Stifel is down 104 points to 49,206. We've got some road work on 6440 going east at Olive in the right 2 lanes. Stall vehicle 6440 going west at Research Park Circle. And a crash on 70 west at 141, the right 2 lanes.
Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms will continue as we go through our Friday afternoon. Severe weather tough to find, but we will run into some heavy downpours from time to time. 78 for the high. Then tonight, fading showers early in the evening. Otherwise, we've got a partly cloudy night on the way, 54. Saturday, sunny. Beautiful day on Saturday, 76 degrees, 56 on Saturday night. All is dry. Sunday, partly sunny, windy, and 75. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky. Right now, 69 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
I've heard people say this sounds like Obama.
A little bit.
You like this one, don't you?
Love it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I know this is one of Wheeler's favorites,
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I think I love one-hit wonders.
Do you?
I mean, there's a reason we love them because there's a reason they were a hit.
Yeah.
When no one else, none of their other stuff was a hit. They're just really good songs. Yep. Speaking of, I'm sad. I love the Foo Fighters. They're like my last new band, which is like 30 years ago. But they were on a tear with me. Everyone has their own opinions. But there were 3 or 4 albums at least where I was just like, damn, every song is great. And then the last couple albums has been like, And they have a new one out today, and I was playing the hit for Rage, and we're both just like, I don't even want to finish the song.
Just meh.
Yeah, just meh. You might like it because it's a little. Remember White Limo by Food? It's kind of like that.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've never been a favorite of mine, but I do like a lot of the. I mean, you go back to their first couple of albums.
Yeah,
there are quite a few I like there.
Yeah. Great band. Razor's Edge.
Yeah, I want to take you guys back to the 70s. I saw a list of things that were totally normal in the 70s that we no longer do today, and I thought you two would be a good judge of like, okay, was this really what was going on back then?
The answer is yes.
Okay, here's the first one.
Can I just, 1 second. You ever seen the footage from like 1920 where they're interviewing Civil War fighters and they have like long white beards? They're like, well, we just did what we had to do.
Yeah.
It's like, that's us. we're now those guys.
We're that age, but they were older in reality.
In the 70s, no one batted an eye at an 8-year-old buying cigarettes for their mom at the pharmacy.
Nope.
So you guys would just take money down there and be like, it's for my parents. And they'd be like, all right, have a good day, Dave.
Yeah.
Nobody in my family smoked, but I saw friends do it.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Oh, I did it all the time.
Did you?
All the time. Yeah.
Now, I'm assuming this one is a school-by-school basis, but I'm wondering if this was the case for you guys. All of the bus drivers were juniors or seniors at the high school, and that was totally normal back then.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I didn't have that.
No,
Yeah,
we had old people.
That seems maybe a
they
little
looked old to
outside the
us,
line.
but we're little kids. Yeah, they were probably 30 or 40, and we're kids. So we're like, you're old.
Okay, here's one I can relate to for sure. Back in the 70s, there were no common household computers, printers, cell phones, obviously. So if you had homework in school, you would research at the library.
Yep.
And then when you did your report, you had to write it by hand, use cursive writing, and, you were handwriting your notes every day. I mean, even when I was in high school, it still just wasn't as common to maybe have a printer at your house. Most people did, but I went long periods of time without having one. So I would do my reports and stuff at my grandma's house because she had a printer. But it's just so different now.
Oh my God!
Like, I'm sure they just do everything in Google Docs and then just upload it for their teacher.
I remember. So I was not born with a great deal of natural confidence. And then my mom and dad took what confidence I had away. And so when I went to school, I was very like, what's going on here? It's like, when I went to school, it was like I was going to prison. Like, what's the deal? What gang do I need to be in?
Where do I need to sit at lunch?
And I don't remember what grade it was, first, second, whatever, but they take you to the library and they try to introduce you to the Dewey Decimal System. And I literally started bawling. And the teacher's just like, what's wrong? And I just remember it. I remember that moment. I remember thinking, if the rest of my life is like this, like, I'm never going to understand this Dewey Decimal System. What? It makes there are thousands of books here. And I just remember being overwhelmed with, if this is the rest of life, I'm just ready to go. I mean, this is no thank you.
Do you guys remember being on a plane whenever you were allowed to smoke? Did you ever fly during that time?
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
What about this? Your best friend's mom had the same power and authority over you when you were under her roof.
100%. They could smack you. They could yell at you. Absolutely. And there were no questions asked.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's for Dave. It was common to tan with baby oil mixed with iodine, but I preferred another way. When I was a teen, my grandpa worked for the candy conglomerate Mars Corporation and would bring home bags of cocoa butter. I would grab a Ziploc bag full, and my friends and I would head to the pool to fry ourselves.
Jeez.
Yeah, I definitely did. So I got really into tanning in a complete dip-ass way when I was about sophomore, junior. I just realized I could tan and people liked it, so I would just lay out, cover it in oil. My bad one, though, was sun in with my hair.
Yeah.
Because I had blonde hair. I've never had a lot of hair. And you put a little sun in it, and now it's really blonde. Everyone's like, oh, my God, look at you. So you're like, what if I just dump the whole thing on?
Oh.
It turned green.
Ooh.
Yeah. Every blonde out there who's my age went through that.
Was this a thing by you, Dave? Because in the 70s, when I was a little kid, all of the teenagers in the area, they would do the whole, like, we're going to lay out. We're going to get sun. We're going to do the set. And they would go up on the roof of the houses and do it up there on the shingles.
Yeah, never went up on a roof.
They would bring towels, and then they would lay on there because there'd be extra heat on the shingles because they were all black.
I just had my first, I wasn't a dermatologist. It was my general practitioner. But for the first time since I was 16, I pretty much stripped down. He did the whole thing, took pictures of things. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay. Didn't have any problem areas. And I've really worried about that because I spent so much time in the sun my whole young life.
Same.
But when I worked on the farm, we would just wear shorty shorts because it was the 70s. That's what you wore. And you would try, this is so crazy. You would try to burn and peel because you thought, okay, now I got a base.
Yeah, base tan.
And I can spend the rest of the summer just getting dark. And you think about that and you're like, oh my God, like how stupid we were.
I just need to burn once and then I'm good the rest of the summer.
It really was like that. Really was.
Yep.
Did you guys ever have the doctor come to your house?
No.
That's a great question. I don't think so, but I certainly lived in the era where they would.
How about taking the chalkboard erasers outside and banging them together?
It was everything.
Dude, that was my favorite.
Oh, yeah. Can I get that
classroom
job?
It was everything.
It was the best because you could go outside.
Be like, here, clean the erasers. And we're like, yeah.
Okay, speaking of school, this person said they started teaching in 1971, and for Halloween in the 5th grade class, they would carve pumpkins in class with actual knives. They did it for 10 years with no issues.
Yep.
Like
that sounds about right.
And then the incident.
yeah, they stopped for some reason. How about layaway? Man, I remember layaway from the 90s.
Yeah, that still existed even into the 80s and 90s. It probably does now in some form.
It does now. Now it's like Klarna.
It's
Klarna. Yeah, you're right.
So Klarna is a website that a lot of people think is just going to destroy like the financial futures of, our younger generations. It's an app website service where like up to like your food deliveries. Like if you want some McDonald's
I've heard
delivered
about
tonight.
this.
Yeah. You can Klarna it, and Klarna will basically front you the money. They will like loan you
It's
the
like
money
rent
to
to
buy
own,
it.
basically.
Yeah, they will lend you the money to buy it, and then you pay back Klarna
with interest.
Yeah, with interest.
Woof.
So
Don't pay interest on your fast
you'll,
food.
if you when you're shopping online, like pay attention to the stuff you don't like, the little text under the thing that you never pay attention to. Like look
Yeah.
at that, and it'll probably say like, you can Klarna this for 5 weekly payments of $13.22 or whatever.
That feels predatory.
It feels very predatory, and a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people were like, yeah, I couldn't really afford Coachella tickets this year. Who can? But I just Klarna'd it.
Yeah.
And then it's like that,
Wow.
and people are.
I would have 1,000,000%
Yeah,
done that.
and people are Klarna-ing DoorDashes. You know what I mean? If you want like a fancy dinner,
Yeah.
you Klarna it, and then you pay off, $20 a week for the next 4 weeks.
Such a bad idea.
It's tough. It's tough, and it's really hard to explain to the younger generations, I think, why exactly it's a bad idea to.
Well, there's tons of predatory stuff like that, like the payday loans.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't believe that's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I was like 21. I needed money. I didn't want to ask my parents. I didn't want to like admit that I had been mismanaging my money. And I was like, oh, I'll get one of these. But all it took was a simple Google search and me just reading the terms and going, okay, so I'm in a bad enough spot that I need to borrow money. I'm never going to be able to pay this back. So, but you think about the people who don't think to read the terms, or they just accept it on face value, and then they're stuck in this cycle. It's really terrible.
Yeah, you become stuck in the economy of it. My wife very briefly worked for a payday loan place, and she quit because she's like, I can't live with myself working at this. But it would. I mean, she would just see like the same people every week basically show up because you have to get another one.
Yeah.
To survive while you're trying to pay off your last one, and then it just snowballs and snowballs and snowballs.
I've told the story before, but I had terrible credit because I just didn't pay any of my bills. And I had student loans, even though I was on scholarship at WashU. Boy, this woman did me dirty. I was stupid. But one of the admissions people, my freshman year, at WashU, they really, really play the genius card.
Okay.
Like, hey, now that you're here, you're different. You're different from all those people out there, all those Webster people. This is WashU. And I remember going to them, and you have like a meeting about financial aid. And I said, well, even though you're on scholarship, you just need to know that you can still take out X amount of loans. And I remember she sat back in her chair and got like a little look on her face, and she goes, don't worry about it. By the time you're paying these off, you're going to be a partner in a law firm making $500,000 a year, and don't even sweat it. Well, that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen. I ended up taking out student loans for my wig, for trips, like the whole bit, and then just didn't pay them because whatever. And years into that, a collector called me. I'll never forget. I was in the front yard of my house, and I think I owed like $40 still. And he goes, hey, dude, can I just talk to you? I'm like, okay. He goes, do you understand what compound interest is? And I said, no, not really. And he explained it, and he goes, you're never going to pay this off. He said, if you can get me $20,000 right now, we can settle it. But I just don't think you're ever going to pay it off if you just keep. And so I said, deal. But it was just like someone being honest and explaining what compound interest was. And I'm just falling on my sword because I was too dumb to know what it was. But yeah.
That should definitely be something that's more highly taught and emphasized for high school kids.
Oh, my God. Yes. Yes. I've always said, you guys know this, your final year, your senior year of high school should be no classes. It should be internships. Everyone should do a couple of the same, and then you should get to choose 2 or 3. You know,
those kind of exist, but they're treated like the dumb kid thing.
Yes.
I was in something my senior year of high school called Job O. It stood for job orientation, and it was like the dumb kid class where it's like, hey, we just want to make sure you graduate, so you go be in this. And literally to pass the class, you just had to have a job. But in the class, like during the class time for an hour a day or whatever, we would learn about, good practices for managing time, good practices for managing paychecks, how to deal with unruly, difficult customers if you're in a retail situation or whatever. And I always found that stuff like very valuable. But even though it was treated as like dead end burnout, you can't get into Algebra 7, so you have to go do job orientation.
I remember the dumb kids leaving on a bus to go to their program and thinking, oh, it must suck to be a dumb kid. They're getting way better instruction than I was getting.
If you're getting close to retirement, or maybe you're just thinking about retirement more in general, you're probably thinking about when can you retire? Will you have enough money to live on? We all have retirement questions that, let's be honest, they're overwhelming and just can stress us out. But Steve All can help answer those questions so that you'll feel more confident about this next phase of your life. Check out his show, The All Financial Hour, Saturday mornings at 10 and Sunday evenings at 6. Here on KMOX.
Giddy up! It's the Cardinal Cowboy. Is your garage door past its prime? Get a free repair or replacement quote from Renner Garage Door. Renner is America's oldest family-owned garage door company that serves both wholesale and retail markets. Right now, get $100 off a new garage door when you mention this ad. With trusted brands like Delden, Amar, LiftMaster, you know it's built to win. Renner's also hiring experienced techs and installers. RennerDoorSTL.com. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
The NFL offseason is here, but the action never stops. The draft is right around the corner, and Heed the Call NFL podcast with Dan Hanzus and Mark Sessler is your pro football destination. Prospects, team needs, and pick-by-pick coverage of draft weekend.
Heed the Call covers all things NFL, and we have fun. No fake hot takes or boring data dumps here, just entertaining football talk from your favorite buds at the bar.
So come hang out with the Heed the Call heroes for football news, analysis, and mirth. All the mirth. Follow and listen to the Heed the Call NFL podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes right into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
Beat the spring cleaning rush at Zero Res. This week, buy one room of carpet, get one cleaned for free. Unlimited rooms and whole system air duct cleaning for just $599. Visit ZeroResSTL.com. That's ZeroResSTL.com.
Considering buying or selling a home? When it comes to the Gelman team with eXp Realty, numbers don't lie. Over 1,500 Google and Zillow 5-star reviews. Nearly 6,000 homes and $2.5 billion in real estate sold. Call 314-336-1991, thegelmanteam.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Friday, 2:23. We have Alvin Reed coming up at the top of the hour. Be good to see Alvin, with losing Ray. If you guys haven't heard, Ray Hartmann passed away yesterday in a kind of freakish auto accident, the one that closed down Highway 40 yesterday. And pretty much everyone I know in the business knew Ray. And so we're all affected by it. And it's just it's so shocking, I'm not sure there's any good way for it to happen, but when you know someone's old or someone's sick or someone has cancer or something like that, you're like, oh, did you hear? But something like that, it's just because not only do you lose a friend, but all of us are in the same boat here, and you go, wow, that's possible. Right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I have a story for you guys.
Hit it.
How familiar are you guys with Dave Ramsey?
Enough that I hate him.
The finance guy. Like, speaking of managing your finances, a lot of people will turn to a Dave Ramsey type for advice because I guess he has been able to help a lot of people. But I saw a story earlier today. I just thought it was so funny that this is being given as actual advice to people. So a New York City couple ended up paying off their $70,000 debt. Which, you hear that and you go, wow, how can I do this? How can I get rid of tens of thousands of dollars of debt? What was your life hack that you used to achieve this? Their life hack was they own a gym, so they started living in the basement of the gym.
Oh, for God's sake, really?
And it's like, I mean, that is smart. If you own that piece of property, eliminate your mortgage payment, just streamline everything into the business.
Do that for a couple of years, you save that money. Yeah,
absolutely. I just don't appreciate how it's being touted as like, here's the solution. Just move into the basement of that business that you own. Like, that's crazy. That is not applicable to the vast majority of people who are listening to the Ramsey Show.
Yeah.
So just thought that was kind of funny.
No, that's funny. Yeah. I mean, it's good specific advice for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a story.
What's up?
This was a little touchy because it involves the death of a real human. But there was a guy, a millionaire, who was a trophy hunter. And he has hundreds of trophy heads in his house. And he was hunting elephant, and the elephant charged him. And then out of nowhere came 5 of the elephant's buddies, and they trampled him to death. You don't want to see a fellow human die, but I'm also not big on the trophy hunting.
Yeah, don't hunt endangered animals.
And that is the risk you take when you're hunting something like an elephant. That can really hurt you back, you guys. It's not like I guess a buck could mess you up pretty good too if you tangled with it the wrong way, but maybe less of a risk than an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, in general, hunting doesn't bother me at all. But it's all about what you're hunting. And, elephants are endangered. If you're hunting elephants and they get you, I root for the elephant. And I know that's a jerky thing to say, but leave them alone. I mean, there are a lot of animals that are hunted because there's too many of them. Fine. And if there's no danger of wiping out a species or anything like that, I understand. Sometimes some animals will overpopulate. It's not an anti-hunting thing. Don't hunt endangered species. Just not okay.
The world's oldest nun just celebrated her 113th birthday.
Whoa.
Wow.
Her name is Sister Frances Domenici Piscatella. She's from New York. Sister Frances has been a nun for over 90 years.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean, it's not. Is it possible to do much of anything for more than 90 years? Assuming because you can't really start careers usually until you're an adult.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 90 years of anything is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I just looked up how many young women are becoming nuns.
Yeah.
Because you got to think it's way lower than maybe it was in the past. It's roughly 100 to 200 young women annually in the U.S.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Yeah, I think there's a shortage as well. Although, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's a lot of articles coming out. Could just be clickbait. But saying that young men especially are turning to Catholicism in numbers we haven't seen in decades. And I think it's kind of a big city thing. It's kind of a social thing, kind of a trendy thing. But like in New York and Chicago, they're just like filling Catholic churches for masses. So
how interesting.
Your ride home just got a lot less of this and a lot more of this.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going, a swing and a high fly ball, deep left field, and it's a gunner.
Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, Bernie Miklasz, 3 voices, 1 hour, all Cardinals. The Redbird Rush Hour delivers.
Sponsored by Busey Bank. Building community with Busey Bank. Beyond the game.
The Redbird Rush Hour, weeknights at 5 on the voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. Heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Here's Dave Murray's weather forecast.
Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms will continue as we go through our Friday afternoon. Severe weather tough to find, but we will run into some heavy downpours from time to time. 78 for the high. Then tonight, fading showers early in the evening. Otherwise, we've got a partly cloudy night on the way, 54. Saturday, sunny. Beautiful day on Saturday, 76 degrees, 56 on Saturday night. All is dry. Sunday, partly sunny, windy, and 75. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Tell you guys about my good friend, Susan L. Ward. She is a divorce attorney. For my money, she is the divorce attorney. She's been doing this. Well, God, I graduated from law school in 90, and I think I met her in 95, something like that, maybe 94, 95. And she was a big deal back then, right? She was one of the top divorce attorneys. And I'll never forget her. We'll always be great friends because she took me under her wing, and she saved me from looking dumber than I actually was and taught me everything I knew about family law. If you are in a situation, whether you are wanting a divorce, your spouse is wanting a divorce, maybe you've been divorced for years, but someone wants to take you back on a modification, or you need to go back on a modification, maybe you've had a slash in your income and you're paying too much in child support, or maybe the opposite is true, you can't do better than Susan L. Ward. Based on her friendship with me and her advertising here, if you call her, she'll do something that most attorneys won't. She'll give you a free consultation. I would write down your top 5 questions or so, and she'll give you an actual answer. She won't hem and haw around. 314-783-9400 or stlfamilylaw.com.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region. Featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jen.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care. So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
Tonight, the Cards, the Mariners.
Emlyn Total Access 620. First pitch 7:15.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX. Bernie Nicholas on KMOX is sponsored by Stewart's American Mortgage, home of the Bagel Loan, and by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin comfort dealer.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Happy Friday. Bernie Nicholas joins us. Hey, Bern.
Hey, what's going on? Good to talk to you again, Dave.
So this was my very first concert. The Commodores at the Old Glory Amphitheater at Six Flags when I was 12 years old. Blew me away. Bernie Nicholas, what was your first concert?
First concert was, I'm going to guess it was around 1973 or 4. It was the Beach Boys at the Baltimore Civic Center.
Man.
Interesting.
It was great. And then not long after that, I started my lifelong pursuit of going to Bruce Springsteen concerts. That's
Cool.
before he was big, though. Carter Barron Amphitheater in Washington, D.C. I was like a 15, 16-year-old kid. My cousin said, you got to come see this guy. He's crazy. He plays like 3.5 hours. I'm like, okay, I'm there. And then there was Dave, I don't know if you remember this band, one of my all-time favorites, the late, great Lowell George and Little Feat.
Oh, yeah.
I saw them when I was really, really young, probably around age 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
They were very big in the Baltimore, D.C. area, and I probably saw them 5 or 6 times. But those were my like really early concerts. I know you asked me for the first, but I gave you my early ones.
That's what
just
Bernie
to spread
Nicholas
it out.
does. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first sporting event?
Yeah, I do, and it'll sound like I'm embellishing it or something, but I'm not. I swear to you, on my papa's grave, my family were original Baltimore Colts season ticket holders, and there was a season ticket drive to get the Colts into Baltimore. The NFL wanted to move them from Dallas. This was like 1952, 53, so a long time ago. So my big sprawling Polish family put together some money and bought like 25 season tickets. So we were original season ticket holders. And I just wanted to give you the background because that's what makes it so sweet. Because for all those years, we would sit there together and have a ball. But anyway, the seats were great. They were, about 30 rows up from the field on the visiting team's bench, behind the visiting team's bench. And the first game I ever saw as a little guy, maybe 6 years old, 7 years old, something like that. The Green Bay Packers were there, and it was like a muddy game, and Vince Lombardi was the head coach. And I vividly remember him walking around like with like a camel hair, trench type coat, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but it sort of started a lifelong fascination. Actually, my first college football game, you didn't ask that. I was a lad of about 5. And it was at the Naval Academy, and Roger Staubach was Navy's quarterback.
You're like Forrest Gump.
I know, right? Right?
That's really cool.
And all I can remember, man, I'm not going to lie here with you. All I can remember is just seeing, first of all, just the football field itself, just all that grass,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then players running around. I didn't know who they were, but I remember my grandfather just said, they called me Bo. That's my family nickname. He said, Bo, you don't know this year, but see that guy's got the ball. Right? He's one of the great quarterbacks in the history of college football. He's talking about Staubach.
Man.
no one asked, but my very first sporting event was the Cardinals game. I was probably 4 or 5. I don't know which bush that would have been, but okay. I know this is stupid. I feel like, okay, I'm a flat earther on this. I feel like the weather and the lighting inside a stadium is different than outside the stadium. And I remember walking into the stadium, and it was late afternoon, early evening, long shadows, and I'd never seen that much green. And just being overwhelmed by the sights and the sounds and the smells and the food. And I know I've told this story many times, but probably not to Bernie. I was with my dad, and I asked my dad, we were down at the front row. We didn't have those seats. We just walked down there pregame, watching the guys warm up and play catch. And I said, Dad, how much money do you make? And he said, about $18,000 a year. And I said, how much less do these guys make? Because I think I might want to be one of these guys, but I don't think I could afford to live because they're playing the same game I play. And he laughed so hard. He thought that was so great. Just
It's great stuff.
The innocence of youth.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And we've all been, we all have so many memories. I mean, my Baltimore Memorial Stadium, it's where the Orioles play. My father loved going to taking me to Colts games, but he loved the Orioles too, and he loved Brooks Robinson, and so he would just say, "Hey, you feel like going to a ball game today?" It'd be like a Sunday morning, and I'd be so excited, and we would always get seats on the third base line, down, behind, like right where third base is. We, maybe about 15, 20 rows up, because my father wanted to be on where Brooks Robinson was making plays.
Cool.
I tried to tell him later on, being a young smart-ass Bernie, it's like, well, you can see him better if you're on the other side.
Funny.
But he didn't want to hear that. So, unbelievable memories, man.
My first game was before I was born. My mom was pregnant with me, and I was at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. My dad caught a foul ball off the bat of Paul Blair, and it still sits on my shelf today.
Jeez.
Number 6.
My mom was like 7 or 8 months pregnant with me, and that's when they went to the game, and that's when he caught the foul ball.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
It is. I love that.
My mom was pregnant with me when the Beatles debuted on Ed Sullivan.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
So I was there for that. Kind of cool.
I wasn't there, but the greatest NFL game ever played from a historical perspective, and it's true, no hyperbole. The Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants. It's the 1958 NFL championship. It was the first sudden death overtime game in the history of the NFL. It was also the first nationally televised game, right? And the fact that it went into overtime, and it was like this gray day with, it looked like something out of a painting, But anyway, I wasn't there, but my mother was at home. I was 2 months from being hatched. Her and all of the women in the family, there were a lot of them, watch the game. And she said, and she was telling me the truth, because she started telling me this when I was little. She said, I knew you were going to be a sports writer, because that whole game, you were just like kicking and kicking and kicking and moving around, and she said, I told her, said, this boy loves football. He's probably going to be a football player, or is going to write about it or something. So she was right. But, what was cool about that, my father went to that game at Yankee Stadium with both of my grandfathers. And, he tells us stories of like coming down the old ramps at the old Yankee Stadium, just one grandfather on one shoulder and the other one on the other shoulder. And they were just delirious with joy and making their way to the train station. I love that stuff, man. It's so romantic. It's so romantic.
You know how we and we're obviously we're going down memory lane here today.
Yeah.
But it's one of those common tropes in sports broadcasting. What if Lou Brock played today? Or what if George Hendrick's legs had been bionic? That kind of thing. But I do think about, what if the characters like Butkus, Jack Lambert, Gary Finsick, those just monsters, played today with all the modern technology and training and you know what I mean? Like if you could marry the violence of the 1960s and 70s NFL with the conditioning and technology of 2026, people would die.
That's why they changed the rules.
Well,
over years, that's why they've changed a lot of those rules because you're getting bigger, faster, stronger. Those hits are even bigger.
I think all those guys, would have benefited from modern training methods.
Amen. Yeah.
Modern diets.
Yep.
Food training,
sleep.
They would have had a lot of specialists that would do a much better job because of all the technology of like keeping them healthy, keeping them ready to play. Kind of reducing their pain, their discomfort, doing a better job with injuries. And I have no doubt that those guys would have been faster and stronger than they were at the time they played, if they played later on. And even some that wouldn't have fit the prototype in terms of size. Listen, you look at around the NFL, there's still a lot of great players who don't fit the body size prototype. So, they would have found a way. Talent is talent. It's just simple as that.
Only a couple minutes left here at the most, but boys, why don't you preview the upcoming series for the Cardinals?
Well, it's the first of 17 games in 17 days. The next 5 series will shape the Cardinal season. They're going to be running into 5 teams. We're talking about the Mariners in this series, followed by the Pirates, followed by the Dodgers, followed by the Brewers, followed by the Padres. All 5 of those teams are terrific at run prevention, so it's going to be really tough for Cardinals hitters. And there's a lot of good offenses in that group. There's a lot of great starting pitchers they're going to have to face. And I'm looking forward to it because I believe, the Cardinals are off to a 14-10 start, but the teams that they played to get to that 14-10 start, they have a collective winning percentage of like under 500. These next 5 teams that they're going to play have a winning percentage collectively of 576 and a run differential of plus 115. So my point is, it's like, to use a horse racing term, the Cardinals are moving up in class to race against better horses now. They're going from Fairmount Park to Churchill Downs, and so obviously this is a huge, huge test for these guys. And listen, every team over 162 games finds their own level. And I think this is where the Cardinals start to find their own level, whether that level be up or down, but they'll start to find it.
Yeah, and this is also where we get better ideas of players' capabilities too, right? I mean, over 162, everybody's playing everybody. You play your own division more, but you play everybody. It'll balance out for the most part. But you don't get the whole season against good teams or a whole season against weak teams. And it's against the better teams and the better pitchers and the better lineups where you get to prove yourself.
Right. And, I'm fascinated by it because I love watching this team. And I want to see what they can do against the best. And, that's what you live for, man. You want to see a young team measure themselves against established teams they're not all established powers, but a team like the Pirates, they're an up and coming team, clearly.
Right.
And they've got incredible firepower in terms of their pitching. So yeah, I mean, this is what I love about sports. You get to like measure up to the teams you're going against to find out where you stand and who you are.
Bern, tell us about Saliga before we let you go for the weekend.
All right, really good being with you. I love the conversation, but nostalgia, man. I love that. Thank you for that. You made my day. Anyway. Saliga Heating and Cooling is a Daikin comfort dealer. And, you talk about families and traditions. This Saliga family, 4 generations of them, Dan Saliga being the 4th generation owner operator now, they've been running this business beautifully with great pride, with great honor for the last 100 years. And that I just laugh when I say that because it's amazing. And so think about all the people that in St. Louis, all the St. Louis families that the Saliga family's taken care of. And I know I repeat that a lot, but to me, it's a big part of their story and a big part of why you should call them if you need help. We've relied on them for 18, 19 years. I can vouch for how knowledgeable they are, how reliable they are. I can vouch for their integrity, their honesty, the way they treat you, The fact that they want to earn your trust every time they come to your home to work on something, a problem that might be minor, major, or somewhere in between. They'll always treat you with respect, always explain things, always give you options, and you never have to worry about them fast talking you into something. It's just a great family business. So if you want to find out more, including the Priority Club, which is a maintenance program, it'll save you money. What you got to do is just find out more about Saliga Heating and Cooling, including the phone number. Get that. Just go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new McKelvey home, and we have a great deal for you. Special closeout savings at Summerlin and Inverness in St. Charles on move-in ready market homes with savings of up to $124,000 with 4.75% financing. Select from ranch, 1.5 or 2-story McKelvey homes. Hurry before it's too late. Visit McKelveyhomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KingdomOX.com/events. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Welcome back, DGS. Happy Friday. A few minutes shy of 3 p.m. Alvin Reed will be here at the top of the hour. Obviously, we'll talk about his longtime partner, Ray Hartmann, who he lost yesterday in a sort of freakish automobile accident. The one that shut down 40 yesterday turned out to be our friend Ray. Ray, do you want to do flashback?
Yes, let's do some Flashback Friday. 226 years ago, in 1800, the Library of Congress was established with a $5,000 allocation for the purchase of such books as may be necessary.
Wow.
It now contains 30 million books on more than 530 miles of shelves.
Jeez. Wonder how many of those books are, like, good. How many of them are like, this is boring?
I'm going to guess most of them are probably considered pretty boring. Andrew's in there like, where's the comic books?
Yeah, this is dumb. Where's Garfield?
What does anyone have any idea what the criteria to get into the Library of Congress is?
I think it's just like it has to be considered significant by. That's a great question. There must be like some kind of like a, I don't know, evaluation panel or something. You would think. I mean, there'd have to be a couple people going like, yeah, this is.
Yeah.
But this was a big seller, and I read it, and it was, seemed culturally significant in some way.
I've watched National Treasure too many times, but I love the secret, stashes.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, when we all went over to the St. Louis Library, and they took us into the antiquities room.
Oh, that was so cool.
That was really something.
That was one of the coolest things I have ever done in my life.
That little stone clay cuneiform from
literally just thousands and thousands of years ago.
Just the fact that I touched it.
Yeah.
I wasn't supposed to, but I did.
52 years ago.
It's in your pocket right now.
52 years ago, 1974, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were established as an NFL franchise.
The Creamsicles.
Also 52 years ago, Bud Abbott died at the age of 76. The classic Abbott and Costello comedy bit, Who is on First, is even featured in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Hated it.
Oh, when I was a kid, I loved that so much.
It made me so nervous. I was so nervous they're going to mess up.
Did you love it because it was a baseball bit mostly?
And it was funny because I was playing along in my head the whole time.
Yeah.
Who's on first? I don't know.
37 years ago, in 1989, Massachusetts declared New Kids on the Block Day. I just completely missed that. I don't even know any of their songs. What kind of music is it? Is it pop music?
Yeah, it's they're like a boy band, right?
Yeah.
New Kids on the Block. Yeah, they were like
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, they were like
Dun, dun, dun.
they were like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC,
But not
They
good.
were one of the first ones. Yeah,
Just before they were
But they
like
didn't
the
have
one of the
proto.
first U.S. ones anyway.
Yeah,
The
they had
proto
hits.
and
Oh,
Everybody
yeah.
knows Bye Bye Bye. I can't even
Yeah.
name a New Kids
The
on the Block song.
NKOTB.
What does that even mean?
The
That
New
was
Kids
Mark
on the Block.
Wahlberg, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
that was Marky Mark.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
34 years ago in 1992, David Bowie married the supermodel Iman. They were together until his death in 2016. That was very
What
sad
did
when
Bowie
that
die
happened.
of?
Oh, God, I feel like he had
I thought
cancer.
Yeah, he had a disease of some kind.
I can't remember now, though.
22 years ago in 2004, Eli Manning was selected by the San Diego Chargers as the #1 NFL draft pick. They traded him less than an hour later to the Giants.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And 21 years ago in 2005, Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger was inaugurated as Pope Benedict XVI. He retired 8 years later and passed away in December of 2022.
Yeah, I know this is unfair, but my whole memory of him was just that no one liked him.
Yeah, he sucked.
Well,
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
he was in the Hitler Youth.
Yeah, he was the Hitler Youth.
That
Pope.
was the big thing I remember hearing about. Like, whoa.
Which, like,
Dave's looking like that's like an inappropriate thing to say or something.
No, I'm just nervous crapping on a pope.
well, no, he was
He
in
was
the
in
Hitler
the
Youth,
Hitler
and
Youth.
like,
I mean, it wasn't like a lot of the kids had any choice.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
No, of course
I mean,
not.
you
I'm
were
just
told
saying
you're
that was a
going to
big
this.
thing
Yeah.
that got brought up all the time.
Yeah.
and I also do feel like there's like I feel like there's other people who could be Pope who weren't in the Hitler Youth that you could have picked instead. And maybe I'm talking to the big man upstairs on this one. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, you might want to make a call.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like there's a lot of people who want to be Pope who weren't in the Hitler
Lord,
Youth.
why didn't you consult Andrew before making this decision?
I'm probably not the only person who feels this way. Maybe I am. I don't know.
I'll tell you about Stewie. Stewart's American Mortgage. Stewie was just in this week. Great guy, very, very smart, really cares about his customers and clients. And he was smart enough to find a business like the mortgage business and then find a way to do it where he is unique. And I think it's so interesting that Stewie is not unique out of his choice. He's unique out of the choice of his competitors because he does not hire commission salespeople. He saves that money, and rather than put it in his pocket, he pays your fees, which makes it much more affordable for you. The choice that all of his competitors made was to not do that. If they don't have a commission salesperson, they take that money, the savings, they put it in their pocket. Stewie's the only one who pays your fees. So he just closed a loan for one of my listeners. I hope you're out there feeling great about it. Closed it in 10 days. So no one can match his terms. No one can match the 10 days. And I'm just telling you, getting to know him, no one can match his concern for you as a customer. Here's his cell phone number. Use it anytime. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
At Ophthalmology Associates, their goal is to ensure that every one of their patients enjoys the best possible eyesight at every stage of their life. This is Rick Wallace, and I've been through several life stages with Ophthalmology Associates. I've trusted them with my eye care for almost 30 years. Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer head up a network of leading specialists in every field of eye health. They're involved in leading-edge research and equipped with the latest technology to handle the most complex situations. And there is always personalized eye care tailored to your individual needs and preferences at Ophthalmology and Associates. Oh yeah, pediatric eye care too, and a full-service optical shop. Ophthalmology Associates. Visit youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And right now, FanDuel customers, new FanDuel customers, and this is one of those times where, I've had a lot of fun on FanDuel for a number of years, but this is a time it would be kind of cool to be a new sign-up, because if you sign up now and you make your first $5 bet, so you sign up, create your account, deposit $5, make a $5 bet. If you win it right now, you'll get $400 in bonus bets if you're a new customer. So if you've been waiting or just haven't gotten around to it, that's a pretty good time, because if you go nail that first bet of $5, you could get $400 in bonus bets just for doing that. So that's whether it's on player props, parlays, individual game bets, doesn't matter. You can do it the way you want to. You got all the tools you need in the app. And in fact, everything is there all in one app. You can click on it and get information about everything that's going on in the game. So don't miss your shot, man. Go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get things started. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA, and, of course, NBA playoffs going on right now if you want to throw that first $5 bet in that direction. 21 or older and present in Missouri to play. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Your first online real money wager only applies to this. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bet that expires 7 days after receipt. You have restrictions as well. You can see all the terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
If you're carrying a lot of credit card or personal loan debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-300-4411 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-300-4411. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-300-4411 now to find out how much you could save.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3:01, it's a cloudy sky. Right now, 70 degrees downtown at the Arch.
I'm in shock. I really am. And, Ray and I were meeting for lunch next Tuesday.
Journalist Ray Hartmann was killed yesterday when a wheel came off of a semi-truck on Interstate 6440 and struck his vehicle. Missouri Republican political analyst John Hancock describes Hartmann, a staunch Democrat, as a good friend and someone who was willing to speak with people on both sides of the aisle about any topic.
You could disagree with Ray, but Ray was never disagreeable. He could persuade, provide humor, and cause you to sit back and think.
KMOX's Charlie Brennan echoes Hancock's description. He recalls Hartmann's relationship with Martin Dugan, the editorial page director of the then conservative paper, the St. Louis Globe-Democrat.
Ray was the wacky hippie who started the Riverfront Times. They were really good buddies, and, they even had a segment on KMOX until 1992 where they did a point-counterpoint. but they're friendly, kind of like Hancock and Kelly.
He describes Hartmann's ability to have such deep relationships in politics as one of a kind.
It's a rare thing, people of opposite sides of the aisle who still choose to get along. And it really showed, what a great human he is.
Ray Hartmann has died at the age of 73. Governor Mike Kehoe has signed 4 Missouri bills into law, including one that would restrict the sale of hemp products, creating a similar high as marijuana. Republican David Gregory of St. Louis County carried the bill in the Missouri Senate.
We are eliminating and banning things like this. See right here, it looks like an Oreo package, but it actually has THC in it, marijuana. And they're labeling it as hemp, and they're illegally selling it as hemp, and we are putting an end to that.
The new law takes effect November 12th and will require those products to be sold only at state-regulated cannabis dispensaries, and they have to meet the same testing, labeling, and packaging requirements as Missouri-grown real marijuana. The Missouri Hemp Trade Association strongly opposed the bill, saying it would put numerous small businesses out of business.
And then to strip money from our district right now is a slap in the face.
That was the sentiment inside Ferguson City Hall with the $22 billion data center decision on the agenda. The project promised jobs, but for the local school and library boards, the cost is measured in lost tax revenue and potentially empty classrooms. Despite pressure to approve the massive data center, the council hit the brakes.
I just need to be able to understand what our city is going to go through. I like to be more understanding of that.
The mayor, sworn in just days ago, requested a delay of a week to review the complex documents. The city now scheduled to return to the chambers on April 30th to decide the fate of this data center. From the business desk,
once again, it's time for those 4 magic words.
Six Flags is open!
Six Flags St. Louis opens its gates tomorrow under new ownership, the last year under that old name. The park is now run by Enchanted Parks. CEO James Harhai is there today, getting ready as about 3,000 high school students get a sneak preview for a music event. He tells KMOX today the staff made this happen fast. His company only took over on April 7th.
We have an amazing team here in St. Louis that it's very passionate. A lot of people have been with the park for, decades. And they have a lot of passion around the park, and they want to see it do better. So they're really jazzed and energized right now.
Harhai says only 2 rides are down this weekend, and one is a water ride that wouldn't be open anyway. The park is being rebranded next year to Mid-America, a callback to its original name when it opened in 1971. Let's get an update of the St. Louis Business Index now. We take you to Stiefel and Scott Bedell. Scott?
Happy Friday and good afternoon, everyone. All markets except the blue chip index posted solid gains to end the trading week. At the 3 p.m. closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average finished lower by 80 points, or just about 0.6% at 49,229. The Standard & Poor's 500 index closing at a record of 7,165 points on a 0.75% increase. NASDAQ jumped 1 2/3%. They finish at 24,836. Locally, the Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index just about unchanged at 1,718. Helping the local stock market environment, Anheuser-Busch gained 0.5% at $72.57. Centene up 1 3/4% at $41.81. Stifel Financial added 0.4% at $77.19. On the downside, Bayer Corporation fell 3 1/3% at $11.20. And finally, Charter Communications tumbled 25.5%, closing at $180.13. For KMOX, this has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. I'll be back with you again on Monday afternoon. In the meantime, have a good weekend, everyone.
Scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms will continue as we go through our Friday afternoon. It's not a severe weather outbreak, but you will run into some heavy downpours from time to time. 78 for the high. Tonight, fading early evening showers. I think we'll get the game in just fine. Otherwise, partly cloudy and 54. If there's a delay, it's right at the start. Then the weekend, Saturday, beautiful day, sunny and nice, 76. A few clouds around Saturday night, 56. Sunday, let's call it partly sunny, windy, 75 degrees. Scattered showers and thunderstorms come back into play Sunday night and into Monday. Still a little concerned that we could see some severe weather Monday afternoon into Monday evening. We'll fine-tune that as we go through the weekend. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It is a cloudy sky right now, standing at 70 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. A few minutes past 3 p.m. Happy Friday. If you work shift work or something, if you're just getting up or just tuning in to the news for the first time, sad news. Ray Hartmann, that everyone from St. Louis knows, whether it's RFT or Donnybrook or running for Congress or, being on the various shows, passed away yesterday in something of a freak accident. St. Louis is a small town, so I'm sure that everyone either heard about the big traffic jam yesterday where they shut down Highway 40, or you were stuck in it like Charlie Brennan was. And I said this to Charlie, but I have a friend going through it right now and texted them last night, not knowing, obviously, and said, hey, there's some poor guy that got hit by a truck tire, and he didn't expect that. You just have to, keep on plugging away at life, and you never know when it's going to end. And then this morning, Rach texted me early and let me know it was Ray. It's like a brain F or something. You're like, what? Ray. Alvin Reed, longtime friend and co-host and partner of Ray's here. Alvin's here every Friday at 3. This one's just kind of special. So condolences, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. And I'll tell you, I don't know if you just heard my phone chime right then, but Ray obviously was a special person, not just for the people that knew him, but I'm up to like about 75 texts or so just from people sending their condolences to me. And I'm like, hey, I'm still just kind of stunned by it all. I mean, just last night, Wendy, Bill, Joe Holloman, myself, Sarah were all at the Media Hall of Fame dinner. It was during the dinner that I got a voicemail from Ray's friend and attorney, Andy Leonard. But we were at the dinner. I didn't see it until after 10 o'clock. It said he had some bad news about Ray. I had no idea what it was. I then tried to call him, but it was late. So I, called Bill and Wendy and say, hey, look, this is what I got. This is all the information I have. I keep trying to get in touch. It wasn't until this morning that we officially found out exactly what had happened. And I still feel like, and I'm talking about Ray, it feels like I'm talking about him because he's just getting a humanitarian award.
Yeah.
That,
he'll be back.
Yeah. And it just isn't resonating yet that Ray just really isn't with us anymore.
Yes.
And it's very shocking and very stunning. And, like I said, I had told my wife last night, before we went to bed, just what all was going on. And so, I'd gone back down to the basement to talk on the phone. I'm calling people 7:30 in the morning and carrying on, and so I had to come back upstairs. It's like, Ray got killed in a car accident. It was the car accident that was on the news yesterday and everything. So it's still very just it's impossible, not just hard to believe. It's kind of impossible to believe. Yeah. But, Ray's legacy will be felt throughout St. Louis pretty much forever. He was just a supporter of fairness and equity, and he was stood up to the powers that be in the city of St. Louis, be it corporate St. Louis, be it political St. Louis. He was very dynamic, and I will always respect him for being the founder of Riverfront Times, because it was a unique newspaper.
Excellent.
There were some across the United States already, but he kind of made the model for how you succeed, how you do it.
I never felt smart enough to read it. I always felt like it was like next level.
I felt like this, and I told him this. I said, I think it might be my Gannett newspaper training or whatever, but I just can't do 4,000 words on some of this stuff. They might be just, it might be alchemy and telling me how to make, an iron into gold.
You're not going to see the
I
end.
just ain't going to see it if I got to read that far. But no, he had some excellent pieces. He had some quirky pieces. He definitely had the personal ads in the back.
Yes.
And, right. And we laughed because his, a lot of that juice was coming from the strip clubs over on the east side. But hey, it was out every week, and it was good every week, and he created it. It was his thing.
Yeah, and just think about that's what we're talking about now, but just the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into that. If you started something similar to RFT now, it would be a lot easier because you have the internet.
Sure.
And it's
Right.
just easier to deploy people and to get your message out there. But as Charlie Brennan was saying earlier on the radio station, Ray was in the back of a pickup truck throwing this
Yeah.
paper onto people's lawns, like
Yes.
from end to end, taking care of all of it. I mean, it's just truly so impressive what a legacy that he was able to build. And I mean, just incredible.
Ray and I became friends when I was on 97.1. And of course, 97.1 is the conservative station in town. And Ray's anything but. And I thought it would be radio-y to get Ray Hartmann on this conservative station. And then we just became good friends, and he was on every week for about 5 years. And you'll love this one. It ended because he came to me and he's like, Dave, I love you. I love the show. I got to get paid. I got to get paid.
Yeah. I certainly understand.
It's very Ray, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
We're all in the. At some point, all of our spouses probably told us, like, okay, Alvin, you got to get out
I know
of the
you're having fun.
He said, like, you got to get out of the free business. I said, like, yeah, I hear you, honey.
Yeah. But even if you are the most conservative person out there, you have to at least respect Ray.
Well, that's I've some of the things I've said today. And one was like I said, like, look, even his adversaries respected Ray because Ray was knowledgeable, and whatever Ray's feelings were, they weren't knee jerk. And he was never like a bleeding heart liberal. He was never knee jerk liberal. He was a factual, had his stuff together, and was also in pursuit of what he thought was fairness, opportunity for all. It was never just, conservatives are this or he's that or she's that. It was just more of a, this is the case to be made why this is not serving the people in a way I think it should. And he always stuck to his guns about that.
Yeah.
So, man, he'll be missed. And it's odd because, I can't say I miss him yet because it's still haven't come to grips with the fact that he's really gone. Right.
Yeah.
And just the bizarreness of the accident itself is just it's just hard to put into words that in an instant like that, Ray's gone and leaves behind a family and so many friends but a positive legacy. I mean, a positive impact on just society as a whole. And I guess that's all we could ask that we do.
How old do you know his kids?
I've kind of, go from little kids to college kids, not I don't see him a lot. I think I remember the last time I saw his daughter, Ray got a flat or whatever, and I was about to leave the house. He called. He said, like, we're in Webster, like at a gasoline station, and I got to drop my daughter off at ice skating, and she was a very good figure skater. And I said, Ray, I'm about to get on the highway. I'll pick you up. And so picked him up, dropped her off, and then we went on down to Donnybrook. And so that was the last time I saw his daughter. His son's doing great down at Missouri S&T, majoring in engineering. I'm not sure which one. And his daughter's in college too, but I'm not sure where she attends. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
what? And I promise I'm not trying to manipulate you into being sad or crying.
No.
As a friend and a colleague, once it does set in, what do you think you're going to miss the most? What did you guys have together that was like your thing?
Well, okay, Ray loved basketball, and Ray played basketball. Ray was a little shorter than I was, but Ray played basketball, and he knew basketball. And if anytime you wanted to have an NBA conversation, Ray was up for it. And I don't think a lot of people know that, about him because it's we tell people a lot of times, or I do. I said one thing is that we hash out city politics and stuff like that on the show. We don't sit around and talk about that stuff if we're together and we're not on the show. Like that was like show topics. Let's talk about something else.
I love hearing that.
That's good for us, but there's just no, that's not, we didn't sit around and further the debates. I never liked, because people, when we would go out after the show, people would come over and want to say, what'd you talk about? Well, I think this is the thing. And, we'd be kind of cordial, but I always be like, I want to tell them.
Yeah.
No, we already did the show. Watch the show.
Yeah. Watch the show.
Watch the show. Watch a repeat of the show over the weekend. I don't really feel like doing this right now, so, but Yeah, Ray was something else. And I think everybody that met Ray came away with a feeling that, this is a good guy.
Yeah.
And I think, maybe that's all we can leave. But, man, he did a lot of great work at St. Louis. He did a lot of great philanthropic work. He was involved with Paraquad, ACLU, a lot of other different things, too. Yeah. And that's, he was always there for people. And he was doing a lot. But I tell you, I'm doing some now. But when I first got to the American and all that, I wasn't very, I wasn't doing too much volunteering or too much board work. And he already was. And, I realized the importance of that in a way through him, too.
Yeah.
He said, like, oh, yeah, I'm on this board. Or somebody's going to call you about being on a board.
Yeah.
Maybe not one he was on, but somebody reached out to him and said, like, Alvin, you're going to call with somebody they would like you to be on a board for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
And I said, well, he survived it, so I guess I can too.
Well, condolences to the Donnybrook family from the DGS family.
Yeah, and we are truly a family, and we lost one of our beloved members, and it's going to be tough doing the show next Thursday. I think right about that time it will be
setting.
Now I'm to the point where they're like Ray is gone. We're about to talk about Ray in a, not that he's. Not that I don't realize what the situation is right now, but that will be the first time I say, no, we're talking about Ray in past tense now.
Everyone will be watching.
Yeah. Well, hey, it'll be a special show.
Yeah.
So I look, I want you to watch every week, but it'll be special on Thursday. So please tune in.
Have you ever felt like you were living just a B or B plus life? It's so dangerous to live that, more dangerous than a B minus or a C plus life, because when you're living a B or B plus life, you don't change it. You think it's good enough. Is it? I'm Susie Welch. I host a podcast called Becoming You. People think, okay, an A plus life is not available to me, but there is a way. We are all in the process of becoming ourselves. Listen to Becoming You wherever you get your podcasts.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Everything you knew about reaching customers online is being rewritten. Time to rethink your approach. Outcomes from Viant finds real customers, not impressions, not clicks, customers. Our AI maximizes every dollar of your budget against the outcomes that matter most and proves it happened. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hired them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Tell you guys about Mike at Michael's Baths. I have to stop sometimes because I have Michael's flooring as well. 25-year habit. I'm so happy to add Michael's Baths to my stable of live endorsements. As you might imagine, this is a big part of my income and how I put Phoebe through college. And like Tom Ackerman talks about, I'm very careful about who I bring into the fold because you only have to bring in one or two bad ones so that people in the future go, oh, I can't trust this guy. I trusted him with his painting person, and they were awful. I'm never going to go to his bathroom remodeling person. So I'm very careful, and I've been very fortunate over the years. Mike is fantastic. Local guy, in construction for 30 years, been doing nothing but bathrooms for about the last 10. He runs a small shop so that he can control everything and make sure that everyone is paddling, the same direction and taking care of customers in the same way. We've had dozens and dozens of people reach out to Mike and do their bathroom remodels, and they've all been super happy with him. I was just at one of their houses about a month ago, and they were just effusive with praise. Right now, for a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or an upgrade safety feature like grab bars or a built-in seat. 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
Built on a century. Focused on today. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 324. We don't get many complaints about this show, but we got one about today, which is kind of extra crazy. So what's the person saying?
Well, the subject of the email is disrespect to Elton.
Right there is okay.
That's my favorite subject of all time. It says, personally, I'd appreciate it if your radio personalities didn't refer to Tiny Dancer as Tony Danza. Elton put out 3 albums in 1 year. He deserves some respect. Bunch of exclamation points. 14:45 hours on Friday, 4/24/26. He made that comment, and it was disrespectful. The man is a genius at piano and composing.
Okay, whoever you are, take your pills. That didn't happen. We've not discussed Elton John. I don't think we've played Elton John. I happen to love Elton John. I think he's a musical genius. I think that making a joke about Tony Danza, that's like AM morning show FM bullcrap jokes. We don't do those jokes here. I wouldn't do that joke out of respect for Elton, but I mostly wouldn't do that joke because it's stupid.
But it's also one of the most commonly misheard lyrics in the history of rock and roll. I mean, they joked about it on Friends.
Yeah.
This is not, it's not disrespectful. It's just the fact that it's like so many other songs. There are lyrics that sound like other things when you hear it a different way. I mean, why would that be offensive? Nobody's, even if that came up, I don't remember it, but even if it did.
Well, it was only an hour ago.
It's not disrespectful to talk about a lyric that millions of people commonly misheard over the last 50 years.
Yeah, file your complaint with whoever actually said it.
Lighten up, Francis. Jeez.
Elton put out 3 albums in 1 year.
Also, I think Sir Elton.
Yeah,
I don't think he needs rando dude defending him. He's fine. In fact, I bet he's even joked about that. I think Elton's even done some gags about that. Now I gotta look it up.
40% of us have cut off friends or family in the last 5 years. 40%.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Cutting off?
Yeah.
I don't know what would be normal for the past.
I don't either. Seems like a lot, though.
It does. Without that info, it definitely feels like a lot.
Isn't it interesting
a lot of it's probably been political.
Cutting off would have meant something so different 40 years ago. Now it's so much easier to just literally push a button and someone's just gone. How would you have even cut someone off back then? I guess you just let them know.
Just don't call them anymore.
Yeah, hey.
Tell the operator they're blocked.
You're dead to me.
By the way, for the record, there is a video of Elton John and Ed Sheeran singing the lyrics incorrectly at Courtney Cox's home in 2021, playing along with the joke. So relax, buddy.
I couldn't. I mean, the email very well could have been a I don't know. I couldn't tell if they were kidding or not because it was such a, they were so offended on Elton's behalf. It's like, guys, it's okay.
I just get
It's all okay.
I get sick. I've had maybe 3 complaints over 25 years that I actually said.
You guys aren't going to believe this.
What?
All right, so you and Bernie were talking about your sort of memories in the NFL and stuff. Yeah. And then you said, hang on, Bernie, real quick. I just got to get this out of my head. Elton John is a talentless hack, and I will never respect him. And I think that song should have been called Tony Danza. Okay, so what were you saying about the Cardinals, Bernie? So that is, unfortunately, that did. I'm sorry, I'm playing into this person's schizophrenia.
My God almighty.
No, I couldn't find anything.
The last person I had, I was sending laser beams into their television to control their thoughts.
Oh, wow.
True.
Yeah.
Were you?
And he was doing that. He was also doing that one.
Yeah, I'm not saying I can't. Just saying I didn't to that guy.
Right.
And then we looked up his social media, and the very first post was about someone else controlling his mind through satellites or something.
Well, he thought it was you. He thought you were the person that was. Yeah.
Tell you guys about my friend Mark Cantor, attorney at law. Having been an attorney at law, I spent half my career doing defense stuff. I spent the other half doing plaintiff stuff. So I'm not an expert witness about it, but I know more about it than the average bear. And I can tell you that most of the people you see on television are a joke to the defense bar. They don't take them seriously. They throw out a big wide net. They bring in every crap case there is, try to settle it on the cheap for $10,000 just to be an annoyance, to the defense or the insurance company or whoever hit them in their car. That is not what Mark Cantor does. It's not like you have to have $1 million case for Mark to see you. That's not the case. He just isn't one of the bottom feeders. He made the Lawyers Weekly top 10 power list for the second time in his career last year out of the thousands and thousands of plaintiffs' attorneys out there. I vouch for him. I would use him myself, and I hope that you will if you or someone you care about is injured. 314-628-9999, CantorInjuryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show. It's not the same old talk. It's fresh, it's different, and it's local. Chris and Amy dig into the news that matters, but they also keep it light, keep it fun, and keep you smiling. Serious when it needs to be, silly when it can be. That's pure entertainment with a local heartbeat. The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays at 9 on the Voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you need a garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. A winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of your choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlouis.com.
Working hard but still falling behind? Learn how real estate investing can help you build income and move forward with purpose. Text RADIO to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing provides your home with the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors to enhance your home's appearance. Available in cut-to-length panels that cover a large area for fast installation. Shop our selection of roofing products today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, we don't have a camera on it to take a really good look, but I am seeing slowdowns now. Northbound on Highway 55, eastbound 44, ramping onto the Poplar Street Bridge. Reportedly, a crash there, but I don't have a camera view, so you got a little bit of a slowdown there, ramping onto the Poplar Street Bridge. Other than that, not a bad start to your Friday afternoon. Westbound on Highway 64, just a pocket of volume now passing Hampton, headed out past Forest Park. Southbound 170, a little busy as well, passing the Parkway down towards 64. 44 westbound, not bad this afternoon. Similar story southbound 55. Southbound Highway 270 this afternoon. You're only heavy in that road construction zone at Ladue, a little busy south of there near the Clayton Road overpass. Out west, westbound 64, westbound Highway 70, not bad, headed through St. Charles County all the way out to Wentzville. I'm Frank Ladd with traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com Traffic Center.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
We're starting a program here in the upper GI space called PREVENT. That's the acronym, and it's really aimed at trying to detect these cancers early and even to kind of, reverse them and understand kind of the science behind why they form.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.washu.edu.
Taking care of your health should be simple. And with the Neovitin monthly subscription, it finally is. Choose your doctor-formulated multivitamin and we'll deliver it straight to your door every month. No more running out, no more remembering to reorder, just consistent nutrition made easy. Plus, subscribers save 10% every month and can pause or cancel at any time. Visit neovitin.com and start your subscription today. Neovitin, trusted nutrition every day.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS on KMOX 334. Dave Murray joins us, courtesy of the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk. Hello, Dave.
Hello there. Okay, we just booked it.
What'd you book?
Your people and my people, the summer forecast, May
Hey,
20th.
That's impossible.
I know it.
Summertime.
God, that's crazy.
It's on a Wednesday. We typically do them on Thursday, but
Yeah.
there's baseball concerns on the 2 Thursdays in there.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now I understand from the fake news that there's some sort of crazy El Nino or Nino, and everyone. Yeah,
It's a super El Nino.
Super El Nino.
Super
yeah.
El Nino, yeah.
Yeah.
Or monster El Nino is another term. that
Every
has
time I
popped up.
see it, I don't say it out loud. I'm not insane, but inside I go, Dave Murray's gonna hate this. Like he's just,
When do we get
You
to
know
the
what?
mega El Nino?
There was an El Nino back in the 90s. I think it was 97. And there was a guy who coined the phrase, scientist, who coined the phrase super El Nino. And that was a big El Nino year. A lot of action across North America. Now, every time El Nino shows up, which is about once every 5 or 6 years, super just automatically gets panned on it. Just boom, it's going to be a super El Nino just because. and I mean, you're hearing wild stuff all about it. And you know what? It's barely even started to form. So let's not go super on it, okay? It's not a super moon. It's not one of the 5 super moons we get each year, which is
polar
equally
vortex.
stupid. Yep.
Bomb, cyclone, something.
Bombogenesis. Now, bombogenesis is a real term.
Oh?
Yeah. That's a weather term. That's a meteorological term. It should not be used in public, though.
Dave, did you hear the bad news about Ray Hartmann?
I did. In fact, I happened to tune in on the Facebook page, and I saw that right away. And
Yeah.
I was shocked, and then when I read the story, it was even more shocking.
Yes. Yeah, really.
Very,
is.
very, very sad.
Very sad. Yeah. 2 kids in college, like
Ugh.
ugh. Yeah. I thought
I
it was so human to talk to Alvin Reed, one of Ray's best friends and partners for decades. And Alvin and all of us are super close. And just to watch him and hear him say it really hasn't sunk in. Like, I don't miss him yet. That was so poignant to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a shocking accident. I mean,
Yes.
it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And I think you first go into a state of shock, and maybe you don't even believe it
Right.
until things start to pan out a little bit.
Yeah. So different, obviously, when my mom passed. When I got the phone call about 4 a.m, I said, okay, I'll be right there. Called Nick, called my niece, Aura, who was in town, called my sister. And it wasn't until I walked in the room, like I didn't think they were pulling my leg.
Right.
But it wasn't until I walked in the room and saw my mom there. It's like, oh.
It's real now.
But even then, I don't think it hit me for about 6 months. You
got that foggy part, right? You get that foggy part for a while there.
Yeah.
I think I know we've talked about this. After my dad passed away, we had a standing date on Sunday evening to call and chat about the week, see what's going on. I dialed that number for 3 or 4 months every Sunday, and it was like, no, what am I doing?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. That's just not going to work.
Yeah. I had something kind of bad happen in the last couple of months, and I picked up the phone and pulled up my mom's name. And just like, crap. Just one of those things, I mean, that's we're all in this same boat, right?
Yeah.
It happened to Ray way too early and in a freakish way, but let's not act like it's not going to happen to us.
Yeah.
We're all heading we're all on the quarter machine, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Just got to make the most of your time on the quarter
You know what?
machine until you're at the edge.
You really do. And the passing of Ray kind of really drives that home.
Yeah. Certainly does.
Wait a minute, at his age, way too early and in a horrible way. But it's like, wait a minute, that could happen to anybody.
Literally.
Just not us, but anybody.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely anybody.
Let's talk about the weekend and what we have in store for next week.
All right. We'll get to Monday here in a minute because the weekend looks pretty good. The rain is out of the picture. The ball game is fine. Nice evening. Beautiful Saturday, partly sunny, 76. Sunday, partly sunny. I think it gets a little windy Sunday afternoon from the south, 75 degrees. Sunday night, the evening is fine. Clouds will be taking over. Scattered showers and thunderstorms develop late at night Sunday night. Monday into Monday evening, real changeable sky. Next weather system comes in, a mix of clouds and sunshine, windy, scattered showers and thunderstorms near 80 degrees. Here's the catch. You've probably heard somewhere over the last couple of days that Monday we're going to get blown off the face of the earth. And which, I get it. I understand what drives us now. And, but this all started Wednesday. It's like, come on, folks, come on. Let's get a handle on this thing first. There's so many questions, even at this point. We're talking severe weather. I think what's going to happen Monday is there's going to be rain and thunderstorms in the morning on Monday. That's going to neutralize the atmosphere. The question is, how much will it neutralize? Then the sun will probably come out for a little bit. It's going to go up to 80 degrees. Sometime mid to late afternoon into the evening on Monday, showers and thunderstorms should redevelop because there's a cold front coming in. The focus, as I mentioned yesterday, appears to be St. Louis east. But is it going to be severe? It all is going to be a nowcast on Monday of what happens Monday morning. Is that going to take the brunt of the atmosphere and just calm it down and nothing really gets going? I do think whatever gets going, if anything, it's going to be really fast. Could it be severe? Absolutely. It's a cold front coming in a juicy atmosphere. But to go nuts on it right now is unfair. I'll use that term, unfair. I could use a stronger term for them.
It's horse hockey.
Probably the same term I would use about that person who complained about me making fun of Elton John.
That's right.
That's gonna.
That Tony Danza song's great.
Rach, you know me. I'm gonna text you tonight at 11:30 p.m. about the Tony Danza thing.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I have a theory on that, actually.
Let's hear it.
I think that person might have actually just been joking because, as Joel pointed out, we were laughing because we couldn't remember Blake Shelton's name earlier, and we kept going back and forth. So I think maybe this person might have been trying to, yes and that.
I could see that because the tone of the email was like, It
no
was
one
silly.
no one can get that upset about
Yeah,
Elton John,
they
right?
were very upset, and that's why I told you guys. I'm like, it might be satire or something.
I think
because-
it was admittedly clumsy, Mr. Funny Listener. Admittedly clumsy satire, I think. Like an attempt to yes and our jokes about not being able to remember people's names and then,
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either.
All right.
I do appreciate the kindness in trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm not sure what makes you a bigger douche. Complaining about someone complaining about Elton John or trying to be funny about it. Like, either way, go outside and practice falling down. Like, that's just... I take this stuff seriously.
I'm with you. I get you. Hey, I'm the one who brought it up.
I take this seriously. This is what I do.
Well,
It's probably Reardon's dumbass who said it. That sounds like a Reardon joke. to me.
Undoubtedly. It did come from Mark.Reardon. Well, I shouldn't give his email.
There's no way anyone would be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
Rachel, would you do a couple headlines?
Yeah. Okay. The Senate is considering the Hot Rotisserie Chicken Act, which is a funny name
I
for
almost
an
took a
act.
drink and spit.
Wait, what?
What?
The
was
Hot
really close.
Rotisserie Chicken Act. So, hilarious name for an act, but it could mean big things when it comes to SNAP food benefits. As of right now, you can't buy hot foods with SNAP.
Oh, I know that.
But
I didn't know that.
I would think that's the main thing you would want to buy.
No, you're not allowed to.
So they
can't-
want you to buy things that you would cook because they tend to be cheaper.
Precisely.
Okay.
And I think it's also just a way, I don't know, people are weird about SNAP benefits. And it's always like, oh, you can't have candy, you can't have soda. The hot foods has been another way to just kind of exert some control over that. But a bipartisan group of senators have rolled out the Hot Rotisserie Chicken Act that would tweak the 2008 Food and Nutrition Act so that hot rotisserie chicken qualifies as food under SNAP. So right now, hot rotisserie chicken is not classified as food, which I get why you would maybe want to stay away from okay, don't get the roller dogs and the chicken tubes at QT. We're not going to cover that with SNAP. But a rotisserie chicken from Schnucks or Costco, that's as food gets.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me that if you're looking to save money, buy a rotisserie chicken. You're getting a whole chicken for $5 or $6.
Yeah.
And I am very proud of my cooking skills and my barbecue smoking skills. I can't touch a rotisserie chicken from a grocery store. If I made something that you get at Schnucks or Costco, I would be calling everyone I knew.
So this isn't going to open the door to all hot foods. It's just, as the name of the act says, the Hot Rotisserie Chicken Act. But they say for seniors, working families, and those without reliable access to cooking equipment, this is about convenience and dignity. I got to say I'm all for it. Come on. Let them get the rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, I think the goal is not a terrible one, but this is a needed adjustment because the idea is that pre-prepared foods are more expensive than just stuff you buy uncooked and you cook it yourself. At grocery stores, those things are they're prepared at a premium. Now you can get it at Costco for $5, but how many people that are on SNAP have Costco memberships?
Yeah.
I think there's because at a grocery store it's usually more like $9, $8-9, depending on which store and if it's on sale or not.
Do we care about what people on SNAP eat because we don't want them wasting their money, or we don't think that people who are living partially on aid should get to eat candy and soda?
I think it depends on who's speaking. I think there are some people who are like, no, I don't want to pay for your candy. You shouldn't be allowed to have candy.
Yeah.
And then I think there are others who genuinely are like, yeah, if I'm going to pay for it, I would like you to eat some healthy food.
And it also does you get a finite amount, right? Like when there's a dollar amount assigned to it. My guess would be,
yeah.
I'm sure the good intent is we want you to stretch these dollars as far as they can go. And if you're buying things that aren't necessary, that you are cutting into what could be necessary. But I also think in practicality,
but it's never worded like that.
No, I get it. No, I completely, because what Rach said is how people tend to treat it. Like, you're getting candy on my dime. I'm like, come on, that's stupid. They're human beings. They're allowed to have some of that fun stuff too. But I think the idea behind this part is you don't want to shoot for the thing that's $10 when you could buy the thing that's $6. because on a percentage basis, that's a pretty big deal. It's $4. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's on the percentage. It's a 60% increase.
I get it, but it's not like the people who are doing that can come back and ask for more money. Like, they're only screwing themselves if they spend too much on their rotisserie chicken.
Yeah. Sure.
Right?
Yeah,
Good
and
point.
yeah.
100%.
Thank you, Dave. Have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, you too.
Tell you guys about Zero Res. This is one of your last chances to get this deal because they are having these flash sales going on right now. And Zero Res right now is offering you buy one room of carpet cleaning and you get another room for free, unlimited rooms. May sound familiar because I have 3 or 4 clients doing a very similar deal right now, windows and such. So if you are interested in getting your carpets cleaned, your area rugs, your hardwood, your tile, your couches, your chairs, your air ducts, whatever it is, just know that Zero Res will always be courteous and professional, especially from the DGS. They get a lot of their business from KMOX and the show. Great people. They work really hard. They're going to do a good job. If you're not pleased, you have the 30-day gotta love it guarantee where within 30 days you call them, say, I'm not that, jazzed about the job that you did. They'll come out and they will do it again. Again, buy one, get one free, $599 for a whole system air duct cleaning, 314-474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, briefly, there was a crash northbound on Highway 55. The ramp onto the Poplar Street Bridge was partially blocked there. That's what's causing the delays still back towards Highway 44 to merge. But the good news is, just within the past couple minutes, they cleared it across the Poplar Street Bridge into Illinois and out of the way. So those delays northbound on 55, eastbound 44, approaching the Poplar should dissipate rather quickly. Headed out of the city, you've got a stop-and-go pocket now westbound on 64, west of the Science Center out to McCaws, and southbound 170 starting to fill in as well. We got reports of a crash now southbound 170 near the Galleria Parkway, so that's what's causing some of the delays, but you do have a normal slowdown there headed down towards 64 most afternoons. Northbound on Highway 270, they cleared a crash out of the way just south of Highway 64. Southbound Highway 270 drivers delay free now between, looks like Ladue all the way down through to Doherty Ferry and Highway 44. Out west, westbound on Highway 70, you've got a pocket of volume passing 79, headed out towards Highway K. Westbound Highway 64, you're on the brakes now between 364 and pockets, headed out towards Wentzville. I'm Frank Ladd in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
I never thought of myself as the type to settle down. Never knew where the team's next lunch was coming from. But then I met you, Easy Cater.
Workplaces everywhere are saying, I do want delicious food at work. And they're ordering from beloved restaurants with Easy Cater.
You were reliable. You had great options for every budget, even when marketing ops did keto again. We got through that together. With you, it's just so easy. Easy Cater, will you keep showing up at my workplace forever?
Find love at first lunch. Order at easycater.com.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region. Featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids' crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. It's a great time to buy a brand new McKelvey home, and we have a great deal for you. Special closeout savings at Summerlin and Inverness in St. Charles on move-in ready market homes with savings of up to $124,000 with 4.75% financing. Select from ranch, 1.5 or 2-story McKelvey homes. Hurry before it's too late. Visit McKelveyhomes.com. Isn't it time to move up to McKelvey?
This is the Dave Glover Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. The Cardinals Report is sponsored by Rawlings. Visit the Rawlings Experience at Westport. Wheels, my question isn't about the Cardinals, although it's something that they'll face in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I thought it was so interesting listening to you and Matt and Bernie talk about the Ohtani rule.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz about it this week because the manager of the Cubs, Craig Counsell, brought it up. So Shohei Ohtani is the only two-way player in the sport. So with that comes some allowances, right? So when he starts as a pitcher, he can also start separately as the designated hitter. And if he comes out of the game as a pitcher, he just stays in as the designated hitter. That's a rule that exists at every level of baseball, except the majors until recently, right? That's high school, that's college. That's not a weird thing. But what they're complaining about is that most teams, not most, the rules limit teams to 13 pitchers. Well, the Dodgers get to carry 14 pitchers because he doesn't count toward that because he's a two-way player. So they get it. They not only have the biggest payroll in the sport, but now they get an extra spot for a pitcher that other teams don't get, which gives them more depth, more flexibility, things along those lines. And then the other part that people complain about with Ohtani is that they give him extra time to warm up when he's pitching if he was running the bases, like if he gets a hit or if he's running the bases. And again, totally unnecessary. How many years did Yadier Molina catch every inning of every game and still run the bases and be out there on time and not need any special allowances? Like, catchers have done it forever. Why can't Shohei Ohtani go from second base to the mound and have somebody bring him his glove and hat and just be on time like everybody else?
We need to come back to this at like 4:20.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
have more questions.
Yeah.
Tell you guys about Bethesda. Bethesda, I love all my live clients, but Bethesda is near and dear to my heart. And maybe I'm a little overly romantic about them because of the experience I had at Bethesda. And you guys were all there with me and supporting me online and stuff, which I'll never forget. But my mom passed away there after taking a fall. She was in skilled nursing. I thought that everyone did a great job taking care of her. I was really impressed with the hospice people, which is why I became one of their hospice volunteers to honor my mom. And I've faced this now with both my mom and my dad. With my dad, it was Alzheimer's. With my mom, it was a fall that led to some sort of hospital dementia. And I was handed a ditto, a piece of paper with a bunch of facilities on it and stars. And that's all I got. And I didn't have a lot of time. And some of you have been there, and you can make bad choices. I would just say that whether it's you thinking about moving into an independent living apartment, which is no different than any other apartment. It just has more seniors there than other apartment buildings do. They're gorgeous. I would move into any one of them right now. I promise you that's true. Assisted living, skilled nursing, a facility, an apartment complex. We have everything. Michelle is my buddy over there. She's been at Bethesda for 31 years. She would love to help you out with your decision making and help to kind of tease out what is best for you. All you have to do is go to BethesdaHealth.org, click on the Contact Us button, complete the form, and we'll get right back to you.
Soar with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra in Rachmaninoff's Third, Taking Flight. Assistant conductor Samuel Hollister and pianist Gabriela Montero make their SLSO classical subscription debut in Prokofiev's thrilling Third Piano Concerto. Enjoy Gabriela Smith's sky-inspired Tumblebird Contrails, Rachmaninoff's Third Symphony, April 24th and 25th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at SLSO.